So I work at Amazon. I'm actually part of the Ops Tech IT team, which is just like operations IT. Aside from that, I just pretty much game. I'm at home with my fiance and 4 cats, and taking care of our newborn son.
We are here today for the Corporate Esports Association Overwatch 2020 Spring Playoffs. It is going to be a spectacular day.
After most of it only does get one as the Blizzard comes out on the backside. T also going to find the Deadeye onto Specs on the high ground. Google has to press on the pedal to try and touch this point. And they're not! Oh, it comes up short. Amazon Fire Force will be able to take Volskaya Industries.
CEA to me is like an organization that pulls together a lot of these like top companies around the world. I think it's like a great team building function, and then also it's for a great cause. It's for charity.
And since 2 members showed up in the top lane, they're immediately going to go for the dive in the mid lane with the damage on the Pandoria. Going to be able to pick up the kill. Twice over for Apocalypse. Everyone else is going to be running for the hills. Nobody wants to be able to join in this fight. With the minions there, the Baron's still on everybody. This is going to be the grand finals for Team Amazon Stock Dip. They've got the money, $5,000 for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. They have secured it for themselves with a 3-0 victory.
Yeah, so like losing to Adobe was like pretty heartbreaking. I got like the second place trophy in the mail. I'll see it like every day. I'm like, it's like a reminder, like you have to do better. You always have to like somebody out there is better than you. Like you should always try to be the best. But like we're definitely gonna come back way stronger, way better. We don't want to drop another game during the season. We definitely don't want to lose in grand finals.
Adobe Illustrators taking this next map.
Hello everybody and welcome back after a short, almost 2-hour break. We are back with the grand final. Microsoft Office going up against DinkedIn to see who takes the grand prize of $1,600 for the chosen charity of their choice. Bad wording. Let's move on swiftly. Welcome back, Steve.
Yep.
How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. I've changed my hat. I feel a little bit better now. Yeah, I always wear snapbacks, but I've decided for the final game for the evening to just chuck a small beanie on just for the time being. Why not try something new? You know what I mean? But yeah, no. Looking at these, looking at the prize pools itself, $800 for the second place, $1,600 for the first place. That's very, very good money. Nice money, in fact, to go towards the 2 charities.
Right.
Do we know which charities are which, by the way, for these 2 teams?
We can quickly look it up. That's LinkedIn. DinkedIn are... That's not LinkedIn.
Oh, I think I may have it for you. Microsoft... No, that's not. Nate. There we go.
Microsoft Office are doing it for Child's Play.
Cool.
And then DinkedIn, I have to download it. I have to download a file. No, blasphemy.
Yes, I remember this file. Yes. I didn't download it personally.
I've downloaded it. I'm now uploading it to my Google Drive because I don't have Excel.
I do. Wait a second.
No,
I've got it. They're gaming UNICEF USA.
Okay. Well, either way, great amounts of money going towards either of these charities tonight. Well, technically they're both going to be getting money, but one double the amount of the other. Either way, always good to do a charity. Yeah,
exactly. Either way, it's good money towards like great causes. You and I talked this year. We did a few bits and pieces for charity. We played in a charity tournament, which was definitely up there on the list of things that I've wanted to do for some time. So we were very fortunate to play in that. Lots of charity stuff going on within esports, which is exactly what I want to see as a commentator and a former player myself.
Yeah, well, we do have the maps that we're going to be playing in this best of 3, Steve. So
we do indeed.
First off was banned out Train, which it was banned out by Microsoft Office, which, from what we were talking about previously before we came live, these 2 teams have actually met previously earlier on in the season, and
there was
beat out Microsoft Office on Train.
Yeah, they did 16-12, in fact. So the last time these 2 teams have met each other in game, DinkedIn did beat Microsoft Office 1612.
Yeah.
That's not to take away from the fact, though, that the remaining games that Microsoft Office have played, they've lost 3-11 or 3-12. I think it worked out as being overall. And one or two of the losses are kind of not landslide as such, like 16-8, 16-9, and then you have the game against LinkedIn, which is the 16-12 we just mentioned. The flip side of the coin, though, is when we looked at LinkedIn stats, and from September the 19th, when the season started, so 3 months ago today, in fact, weirdly enough, they've won every single game, and they have absolutely stomped teams. I mean, I'm looking at 16-1, 16-6, 16-5. The closest game they've had so far since September the 19th has quite literally been the game against LinkedIn, which was 16-12.
Your camera has frozen, by the way, Steve.
It has indeed. It has.
I just looked over to my other monitor. I was like,
it's done a perfect
really
freeze.
Intensely focused on his other monitor, or there we go. You're back. Welcome back.
There we go. I don't know what happened then. I'm gonna
again.
quickly. It's frozen because I told it to freeze up for a second. There we go. I should be back now.
Are you always
hopefully.
breaking things? No, not just yet.
I didn't touch anything. My hands are off my keyboard. Like when the camera comes back, you'll see that my hands are actually up in the air.
I'm giving you a refresh. There we go. You're back on OBS.
Perfect. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm still here.
Yes. Train was banned out first.
Train was banned out first very early on. Expected, to be completely honest.
Yep. Followed closely by Nuke. And then this is not a surprising pick, really. Mirage, a lot of teams play it. They all know the smokes. They all know the executes. So it's going to be a typical, almost Puggy style, but you've still got the executes coming out there as well. You've still got all the nice utility usage. But then, what did DinkedIn pick, Steve? That's quite
DinkedIn picked Vertigo as their second map, which is kind of it's an off-brand choice. You and I were talking about it in the startup to this evening. We were looking at it from the perspective of like, okay, well, there's two maps realistically come to mind. It's Inferno or Overpass for map 2 pick.
Yeah.
And then a Vertigo is maybe like a way off, off topic kind of pick. One of those random ones you don't really want to see, but at the same time kind of want to see. But it has been picked by DinkedIn. I think that's got to have something to do with Microsoft Office banning Train. Of course, DinkedIn beating them on Train the last time round, so there's got to be some sort of play into the mentality of that. Looking back over Microsoft Office's win-loss, they have lost on Vertigo to Amazon Wallbang. They've in fact never won a Vertigo in this season, at least anyway. They have in previous seasons against teams like DinkedIn, actually. Wow, right there. Yeah, they won on May the 12th. They beat DinkedIn 16-9 on Vertigo, so that's a bit of a... Okay.
Could be the reason behind this pick.
Maybe, maybe not. We'll soon find out, of course, as we get players into game. But yeah, I think what I'm most looking forward to is obviously the penultimate game. This is it now. All the money is on the wire. Players are ready to kind of rock and roll. I think they're all in server, but they're just warming up very briefly for us. And then, we go to Mirage, which is a fairly standard choice for a lot of different teams for a lot of different reasons. More often not being the fact that the smokes and everything else are fairly simply done. It's the most played pug map, I believe, at the moment. It still is, at least. So you kind of know what to expect from Mirage. But yeah, I think we are still waiting on a few players to jump in. Just looking at the scrim chat that's in there. I think one of them has gone to take his doggo for a walk. So fair play to him. I gotta keep remembering these guys are. It's like what 3 p.m. 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Pacific
3
right now.
Over in the States.
Yeah. Whereas for you and I, it's 11:10 at night.
Yes.
So I wouldn't take the dog for a walk at 11:10. I'm not in a rough area. Well, kind of am, but yeah. Oh, wait, there. He said in the chat literally 4 minutes ago, "I'm back. I got attacked by a ghost." So you must be playing like Phasmophobia maybe to warm up with.
That'd certainly be an interesting warm-up tactic, but
It
Steve,
would be.
I know you don't like your predictions, but the last game was relatively easy to predict. I think we both had that one chalked up before we even got onto the first map. But this one's going to be a lot closer. Do you have any?
I think we still can't take away from the fact that DinkedIn have never lost a map.
Okay.
We still have to take that into consideration. They are quite a formidable team when you think about it in the grand scheme of things.
Yep.
The team themselves have beaten everything that's thrown at them this season. I think we're in for a very good one. I think we will go to map 3.
I'd love to go to map 3.
I think we would, but at the same time, if we do go to map 3, I think it will still be a DinkedIn win in the end. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I mean, I'm interested. Yeah, I think we're just finishing off, or they're finished off their knife round, but it's a throwaway round at least anyway. Just so they can get the sides picked out for us. Come on. There we go. I
CT or T? What would you pick?
CT on this one.
Yeah,
CT side is more my thing for this map.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. So
I think it's just easier to hold. Yeah, we're ready to rock.
I think we're ready, Steve.
Yeah, let's head into the game and see what these two teams bring out for us. I think the thing of it is, like, going back to what you said a moment ago, which side would you pick? I think CT is just more manageable for the first half.
Yeah.
You can kind of bed yourself in a little bit more, and you can kind of get a feel for the team that you're going up against. If you've got quite a confident CT side as well, in the way that you're splitting or dividing your numbers between the two sites and mid as well, you can learn a lot about a T side just by the first 3-4 rounds on CT on Mirage. And this is, of course, stacked up for an A side, as we can see already from our in-game view. Of course, we can see the wonderful X-ray to give us an idea of what's going on from the CT perspective, but it's very much an open area for the terrorists to move through into the site. We'll get an opening pick, and Pax is the man to get that for us.
Yeah, that opening pick is not really actually doing much. The bomb has been planted, but straight away the CTs are back in with the frags. Alpha and Alpha and Pax getting another one for himself, actually, and that's all 5 terrorists dead. They had an open bomb site to walk onto, but that retake from those CTs in the form of DinkedIn came in with ease and came in with aim, popping heads and taking that back.
This is what I'm saying to you, though, is that, this is now the period where DinkedIn go, okay, they can push in force, they can do a 5-man push onto site. What are we going to see from round 2? Let's buy up into it as best as we possibly can and kind of figure out, what sort of mechanics we can work into play for ourselves. We do see quite a healthy buy from them. They are spending quite a lot of cash into the second round. Both sides are, in fact, but maybe more so on the terrorist side of things. That those purchases can have a double impact into yourself there. So it'll be interesting to see what Microsoft Office can do with the money that they expect. Which at the moment is not a lot. Wow, Windway
barely even seeing that player. The top of the head of the player that died to that scout was actually still hidden in the smoke, and Windway somehow managing to track the head and take that kill for his team. Only the one player in the form of Yumi left, and already dead as I finish my sentence. Now 2-0 to LinkedIn, or LinkedIn as their name says.
It's a lot of confidence from Windway there. A lot of confidence.
It's an art mastering the scout.
The scout.
When someone does it and someone does it right, it's a beauty of a thing to watch.
Yeah, I'm 100%. I agree with you fully. Watching someone work a scout over like that, getting that early first pick, that's super nice to watch. Me, however, I'm more of a spray and pray guy, which is what Pax, as well as Windway. Well, Windway started it, but Moose took him down. Pax obviously re-peaks that angle and takes the frag in the end. But I'm more of a spray and pray kind of guy.
You were talking about confidence, and we've seen a lot of confidence come out in that round with Pax, who just bum rushed up mid, really didn't give any thought as to what could potentially happen, and picked up 2 easy frags. And admittedly, he does go down in the end to the player in underpass, but those 2 frags have allowed his team so much space now, and actually know that the bomb is here.
It's space to maneuver, but it's also space to be able to push more people up into the fight. You look at Alpha; he's in such a big position to play. Yes, it's lacking as far as the extra number is concerned. He does get an extra number in the end. Downside comes to support him, but realistically, that's a dangerous place to play for Alpha. But it's so forward that it doesn't give Office a lot of options. In the sense of having that last man stack up, it doesn't really give him a lot of options other than to trace his steps back through, get towards mid, try and recover bomb if you can, and maybe try and push back down towards B and hope that the damage you did to the B man is enough to make him kind of walk away and get to A. I don't know, it's an awkward situation to be in for Microsoft Office at the minute, and they are losing numbers as they start this push on short.
Moose does come in with a refrag of his own onto downside with the help of Poon Monkey, who's now dead. Poon Monkey?
Poon Monkey.
God, some names are hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
As we do see the terrorists start to explode onto this B-bomb site. Bomb now being tapped, but Bad Blood peeking up over the van, taking down the last CT on site, and now it's only Windway and Pax in the form of an AWP and an M4 to try and retake this bomb site. The first frag coming out from Pax. Can Windway now chime in to aid? Pulls in with the AWP towards bench and goes down ultimately, and that's MS Office with their first round of this half.
Yeah, you fancy that win, that round, though, that retake coming in. Do indeed. 3-1, though, still in favour of DinkedIn. So, it is very much early days, but I think, as I mentioned before the game started, this first half CT side for DinkedIn is more about finding out what they're going to be coming up against towards the later stage of the first half. Pistol round now. Ooh, Moose. How did he not get Windway off that then?
Must have been through the wall of the little stairway there.
Yeah, I was going to say that's
damage being done, but not enough for the kill.
It's a tight shot. Very, very
slow
tight shot.
Default coming out from the Microsoft Office side right now. Not really wanting to give away too much information. Not wanting to give away any of these weapons to this full eco. Upgraded pistol CT buy in the form of 5 Desert Eagles, which we've already seen today can do some damage. And there's the damage coming in straight away. Pax picks up an AK and now has such a pivotal position for himself in this Palace position. But that kill has now drawn all of the CTs over, and Pax is shortly going to be communicating that there's no one else actually here. He's seen the rotates, nobody else has pushed onto this A bomb site, and now they know they're going to be walking into a B bomb site with potentially terrorists already there, but they've read it. They've beat the terrorists to this bomb site, and this could be absolutely huge now. Quack and downside with it all to do to try and hold off this push. Quack picking up the first, but RMQ FLY managing to refrag, but downside unable to do much else to try and win that round for them.
Yeah, it's trying to shift the tide of the balance basically between the two of them, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't pay off, and in this case we're seeing now DinkedIn slowly kind of maybe realize, okay, something's not quite working here, and how can we kind of reassess this? The economy situation for DinkedIn doesn't look too strong at the moment as well, so they've got that to contend with, and then when you got a player like Poon Monkey just dropping shots into alpha like that, you got to admit that's a hell of a frag. That's a good opening frag into A side. That means that, okay, well, we can push out as far as I am right now, and that's a good deep position to hold into site as well.
Yeah, the CT's already coming in from their own spawn. Quack picks up one, and the second to follow. Bad Bud going down. 1 HP left on Quack, and does ultimately fall to that AK of Yumi, and now it's all on downside. 1 versus 1. He's managed to get this situation looking very favourable for himself. Smoke in hand. Taps the bomb. He's trying to fake out the defuse. Moose thinks he's still on it, and that's exactly what downside wanted, but Moose manages to adjust the aim and take down downside before downside even expected him to be pushing out right there.
That's so bad. I feel really bad for him. I genuinely do. That was his to win. That was downside's round. I don't quite. I mean, the spray wasn't there. The control wasn't there on the spray. The HP was certainly there for him, but I've got no idea why or how he lost that round. That should have been 4 on the board for DinkedIn.
I know at least. I know at the end of the. Oh, okay. I wasn't actually expecting much to be coming out of that push, but the AK is now in the hands of downside, and a tap on their head of Bad Blood leaves him very low health. And the CT is actually looking rather favourable coming out of this round. An AK in hand, couple of a bit of utility in the form of that Molotov. But I'd imagine downside's probably going to just be holding on to that AK. They've done enough damage. They're going to be looking for one of those pistols.
It's the economy damage, really, isn't it, at this point? You look at Yumi sitting at 1,650. If they can get another weapon out of this, which they will, that's a good eco round for me right now. maybe, I mean, one additional frag and go for a retake. If they don't get the additional frag, then sit back, grab those AKs. Yeah, they've even got a little bit of utility into it as well. Picking up Molly in the smoke. I know they don't cost all that much, but at the same time, it's good money, to save for future rounds going forward.
Yeah, and we were saying at the end of that third place match that we had earlier that we were hoping this grand final would be a lot more competitive coming into it, and they've already proved exactly that. Both of these teams going toe-to-toe, 3 rounds to 4, and that economy damage is huge, and Alpha's not looking any way that's productive and just dies to the player rushing down mid. Moose taking an extra weapon away from these CTs, and
they dropped 4 AKs in that round. 4 AKs they dropped from Microsoft. And DinkedIn still manages to lose an extra AK out of it. That shaking my head right now as to how
he's done it again.
Oh my god. This man's mad.
He just walks out onto that A bomb site and takes those heads.
Yeah, he just doesn't care. Again, we're seeing... Oh, that's a nice spray actually from Pax. We'll give it a second to calm things down. It's still winnable, though, from Microsoft Office's perspective. HP difference-wise.
Certainly is, but the CTs don't really have a read on what's going on right now. The terrorists are already perusing towards this B bomb site, and as soon as this initial engagement is found towards this A bomb site, the form of Moose on the ore actually does leg up Guac, and now Downside has it all to do on this B bomb site.
What? Pax just slapped Moose around then. You'll get the bomb plan, but this retake is still in play.
The HP disadvantage for the CT side is very, very bad, and that's exactly what they were not hoping for. Guac going down relatively easy, not waiting for his teammate to be able to get into a position to refrag and get that kill back in the favor of MS Office, and now Pax, he thinks the bomb is planted for short, but he's got the wrong side. It's planted for behind him, and that's an easy kill for RMQ.
Completely read that wrong. I mean, you don't peek that window solo either. You know, with that much HP, you've got less than 50 between the two of you. For goodness sake, like, you know, you've got to peek that angle at the same time together to try and get the refrag off it. You know, yes, obviously he can pretty much hit you both with one bullet each and kill the pair of you, but at the same time you've got a better chance of swinging that angle and getting that refrag out. You know, even if you let your rifleman go first and you as AWP sit back behind him and try and get the refrag out of it, you've got a better chance. Not a lot of options for DinkedIn though.
No, after winning those first 3 rounds off the back of the pistol, they've not really looked like they're able to do too much coming into these full buy rounds that are coming out from MS Office. Even the gun rounds that DinkedIn are putting up are really not up to the mark and not up to taking down the aggressiveness of this MS Office side.
Yep, indeed. I like this though. This DinkedIn play now. We're letting them take as much mid control as they want from it. Yes, you suffer because it's harder to kind of retake from mid, but realistically, let them have all that mid control forces their options as far as how they're going to take a site.
Yeah, but
getting the frag through into window as well. Sorry, is also important. That way now they know that they can push on to the site. It means that DinkedIn got fewer options again with the retake.
Yeah, not really much, not looking like much that DinkedIn can do to try and get themselves back into this round. It would take a miracle. That miracle could be downside on that Desert Eagle, but he does go down to 4 HP in the process of taking that kill, and I don't even think it's worth saving the UMP at this point, as they will be buying up into the next round anyway. Looks like he's just going to try and do some economical damage, and that's exactly what he does, picking up 2 more Desert Eagle kills. And that's a lot of economic damage done to these terrorists.
It is indeed. That's a lot. I mean, it's good to see, but it's a reverse read on what you and I thought was going to happen. This is going the opposite direction. The other thing to think of, though, as well, is that Microsoft Office, these guys did pick Mirage as their pick. So, maybe we read it a little bit too wrong from the score stats that we've seen from DinkedIn in previous games, as well as Microsoft Office. This being Office's pick, perhaps we have read it wrong. But I mean, early days still, nonetheless. 6-3 into round 10. Still, realistically, anyone's game when you think about it. We're not seeing the score difference that we saw in the third place round game that we saw earlier.
Poon Monkey's just getting multi-kills every single round. He's done it at least three or four rounds now where he's got at least 2 kills into a round in quick succession. And this is already looking not great for the MS Office side as Quack comes straight back in with 2 kills. It's all down to Quack now.
It's almost a team frag, man. Like grenade came out of nowhere. It was a long ball grenade to try and see if it could do any sort of damage to him. A Hail Mary grenade is probably the best way of putting it. It works out in the end, however, and we do go 7-3, and that's the first time out being called by the CTs. Kind of expected to see a CT timeout, to be honest. You don't go 3 rounds on the bounce to 7 rounds on the bounce without taking a break and going, right, well, where are we lacking? What are they pushing 2 players onto that we're losing to 1 player? What can we do to try and stop the round difference of going into double digits, which we're not that far off at the moment.
I'm not even sure there is much that the CT side can do, because no matter what Poon Monkey does, he's always changing his position every single round. He's either rushing out at mid, getting 2 kills, or rushing out onto A, getting 2 kills, and that's extremely hard to counter unless you're using that early utility to try and fend off any early rushes and pushes from happening and catching your CT side off guard. So unless they start stacking towards this A bomb site, because that has been the favoured bomb site from MS Office so far, I think I think 7 out of these 11 rounds have gone the way of A, with a couple of them being the mid to B split.
Yeah, the mid to B split has been favoured a little bit as well by Microsoft Office. And if you also favour the mid to B split, you can, of course, sign up for next season. If you go to the website, which is linked below the stream, it will be CEA.gg. You can sign up for next season with your fellow workmates, work company friends, however you want to look at it, and get yourselves involved in the next season for 2021, which feels really weird in saying that it's next season in 2021, but we are actually at the end of the year. The longest year ever. But we're almost at the end of it, nonetheless. Speaking of the long game, at the minute we are into round 11 in map 1 of 3.
Just look at this already. Poon Monkey.
Yeah, I mean, look
short.
at the team test. Yeah, done. This round's over with. Yeah, that's the opening frag you want to see. Swings out. Doesn't get the man at track. Doesn't get the man at track. Oh, okay. Should we talk about that, or we'll leave that? We'll leave that, I think. That swing was nuts.
The main thing that really stood out to me in that situation is that he was actually focused on a separate terrorist in that situation, counter-terrorist, sorry, but then flicked back onto the player that swung out from Van and still managed to pick up that frag. And now Alpha has it all to do in a 1 versus 2. He has a kit, he has a flashbang. This is still doable. The health isn't that great, but he opts out of it. He's not in the mood for a 1 versus 2 retake. With that much time gone, it's completely understandable.
Yeah, he has kit, but I mean, even with kit, to take a retake a site with 2 Ts on it, both of them full HP, because he's not known if anyone's hit them as well. We've got to keep that in mind as well. Also, he doesn't know what damage has been dealt to them. Yeah, I'm saving AK off that one.
And now another lesser buy that's going to be coming up for the CT side. Not being able to afford the full weapons, the full utility, everything that they should be using to try and get back into this game, as we see a half buy coming out. Maybe a bit of miscommunication there. Windway buying all the way down to $0. Not following suit with his team that are leaving at least a little bit of money in the bank to try and buy up into the following round. providing this doesn't go the way that they're hoping it will.
I've said this numerous times, buy to 2K in rounds like this. It does wonders for you economy-wise. Plus, it also gives you options for later rounds. A nice AK pickup there. Windway needs to get this frag if he can. He's not looking. He will get it. I mean, by the skin of his teeth, he'll get it. But he's lucky to get away with that. Really lucky to get away with that.
He might be able to get away with that with more, though, with that double flashbang. He actually does fully blind the AWP in the hands of Moose, but he doesn't opt to peek off the back of those flashbangs, and that Molotov now is going to be his death, but Pax actually swings on the Tetris position, picks up that kill onto Moose, and now the pincer, the A split is coming in from these terrorists. Pax actually readjusts onto the player coming out from Palace, and now it's all on Poon Monkey, and LinkedIn get their first round after a string of 8 coming out from Microsoft Office on the back of a half buy.
That is very, very well played from DinkedIn. You know, from my perspective at least anyway, that's a perfect round from them. You don't get very many rounds like that where everything kind of falls together. You have the luckiness of Winway. How he survived that, I've got no idea. You know, AK versus FAMAS in that sort of close quarters, you must have dinged him at least 2 or 3 times for that kill to come through. Wow. Okay, Winway is your AWPer.
And we're instantly seeing this B bomb site rush coming out. The economy has been broken by the CT side. The terrorists not having anything except upgraded pistols, and Windway throws a wayward smoke grenade and actually does damage to himself. Gets dinked on the peak from Market, and now a 3 versus 2 retake scenario for these CTs. The health advantage in their favor with that extra player. Utility
it can be done. Ooh. Get the first. Let's get the second. It was a little bit dicey, that was. Windway's HP is 6 HP. He's lucky Pax was there to back him up. Okay, so an upward spiral for DinkedIn. It's good to see. Can they maintain? That's the next big question, really, isn't it? We're into round 14, first half of the first map of this evening, in the grand final for CEA.
Yeah, they have already lost this half, dinked it in, but they still have the opportunity to claw these rounds back and try and make their second half on the terrorist side that little bit easier. As we already see, look at Poon Monkey, he's so agile every single round, rushing up short once again and picks up the first frag onto downside, and now that's got the CTs running. The CTs are already rotating over towards B. Only the one left alive in the form of Alpha holding on to this A bomb site, just trying to do anything he can to try and aid his team in holding down the bomb site, and is unable to do much. But Windway, he's able to do a lot, picking up 3 kills into the round already. And with one of those players already low, this is extremely doable for Dinked In. Windway looking to pick up the 4th, going to try and get the ace. Opts for the rotate through connector and allows his teammate in the form of Guac to take the early engagement. And Windway has the idea, he does, but he doesn't have the execution. And now it's all down to Guac. And a 2 versus 4 situation is won by Dinked In.
There's a momentum push that we were on about. You know, that's a. I'm going to say it, and I know every time I say it, you always laugh at me, but that's a high-impact play. That really is. I mean, that genuinely is a high-impact play when you consider Windway basically just smoking everything that came onto A site from window, you know, from jungle, sorry, with just relative ease. That confidence coming back into his AWP abilities. It's perfectly played. I love it. I want to see more of it, but we're at the final round for the first half.
As long as Santa Steve doesn't make an appearance, then I'm more than happy. So for anyone not privy to that joke, when Steve gets very much into his CS, all he goes is, ho ho ho! Every single time there's a nice kill, and I've got a feeling that might be the outcome for this game tonight. As we see Bad Blood actually picking up Guac towards mid, and this half buy is coming out in numbers for MS Office. I wrote this round off. I know it's the last round, but the weapons that were coming out for this terrorist side really didn't pose much of a threat, in my opinion, towards this CT side. And Downside could actually do a lot here. He's picked up 2, and one of these players on the terrorist side in the form of Poon Monkey is actually low. Downside not able to find him just yet. He does have a kit. He's still got full utility except from 1 grenade. But he still is... This is still doable. He spots out the 1 player towards ramp, but unable to do so as RMQFLY picks up the final kill of this first half.
Yeah, he split the difference, didn't he? I mean, he's caught from 2 different angles. Once again, love the the good halves in chat. Everyone being very, very so I'm looking for professional. Everyone being very, happy. Everything's going good. I think at the minute, I'm still happy with my prediction. Pre-match prediction. I still think this is going to go to map 3, but I just can't get the win-loss ratio up my head from DinkedIn.
Just for anybody wondering in chat, the overlay is incorrect right now. It will be swapping shortly. It's usually towards the end of the 16th round that it finally realizes that these teams have swapped side. RMQ actually picking up 2 early quick frags onto this B bomb site, and Moose now coming in from market, managing to pick up one of his own, and Poon Monkey and Bad Blood then chiming in to close out the round, a flawless round for the side of DinkedIn. As that should swap now.
Hopefully.
It did.
Who knows?
Did it?
It did. Well done. Maybe. I don't know, I just work here. Anyway. MSR Office winning that round.
Yes.
It did switch. I know. I'm only joking with him.
I was genuinely confused.
Yeah, the Office winning that round. It's a fairly good opening round for them to win, in fairness. We've seen really weird things happen on pistol rounds like this. Oh, Alpha just suckered Poon Monkey and then for Guac. As a FAMAS recovered and taken away to top mid. Watch Knife's been made. Blood will swing out. He'll get the first and second, but he's not going to get the third as Alpha finishes him off. And Alpha's just like, nah, thanks, I'm done. I'm out. I'm going to back off with this FAMAS. Keep it for another day. 2 CT players down. That's good economy difference for them.
We're seeing this side of DinkedIn start to favour this favour this B bomb site into this round, and
seems to be a bit of a discussion going on there between the two of them as well.
Do we go here? Yeah? No? Do you want bomb? No? Okay. But then now we're going to be seeing them explode onto this B bomb site. A smoke thrown to try and aid one of the crosses. It's landed exactly into market, and that's exactly where they needed it. As Moose now popping out from market, gets double dinked. Still doesn't go down. The P2000 not really doing the damage they needed in that situation.
It's not really a favoured smoke of mine, that isn't either. I feel like it takes a little bit too long. Of course, there's multiple smokes that you can use from B side to get into window. I much prefer the one that's closer to B doors to get into apartments itself. That one lands just as players start to cross the window, whereas that one lands and then you've got a couple of seconds while you're still crossing. It's a bit of an awkward one. Nonetheless, anyway, that's enough about talk about the different smokes that you could potentially use in this game.
A full 5 AK setup coming out from this terrorist side now as Downside picks up one, but Moose coming back in with a refrag and one extra. Goes for the second peak, but goes down quickly. Alpha and Windway both chiming in to pick up that kill, and now the CTs are reading it that this is going to be an A bomb site hit, but terrorists are still undecided. They are slowly making their way around.
Very slowly.
Pax, he is perusing onto the A bomb site, but he hasn't spotted the player in under. He has an idea. He does have an idea, and that's a great idea, and takes down Yumi. Pax now with a second opening up this B bomb site, running towards CT.
Oh, I guess
no idea of the player being there, and now it's all down to RMQ. Picks up the first and the second, and RMQ with a 1 versus 3 clutch into this round. All to do, and he did it all.
Yeah, I just don't think he expected to see a player there at Ticket Booth. it's understandable as well. Like I wouldn't have expected to see a player there at ticket booth like that, but again, we've seen very strange plays, and that is another one of the more epic strange plays that we've seen through this evening so far. I don't know. I mean, it's where do you go from here from a DinkedIn perspective? You know, they started to come back a little bit. They lost 3 on the bounce. Blood is just spraying into everything. 1 HP left. He's always going to die there in that scenario. Pax will finish him off, but too little, too late as far as that kill is concerned. And Moose will get his own in return against Pax. What a messy round that was.
Yeah, the CT's actually only going down to RMQ surviving. That's done damage to their economy. Not really going to be able to afford to buy up into this round fully. A couple of players maybe only getting some small amounts of utility. And this is really the opportunity that DinkedIn need to take to be able to try and claw their way back into this game now. 7 rounds down. If they lose this, then their economy is broken once again. And it's almost game over at that point.
Yeah, must-win rounds. Again, both sides are playing it fairly loose as far as the economy is concerned. Oh, that's disappointing. The refrags are there, but it's just damage that shouldn't really be dealt. There should be players watching different angles like that. We'd expect there to be. Yumi's in a hell of a position. He spotted out one player coming out from Palace, but gets spotted there by Windway. He'll take Windway down, but Pax will be the man that will finish him off at least anyway. And we're now 2v2. If this retake plays off quite nicely, and it, you know, 2-man stack coming in from mid, you'd expect it to play off quite nicely. This could be huge.
With how slow they're taking it, only RMQ has that defuse kit. If he dies before he gets onto the bomb site, it's going to make this situation very awkward for the CTs to try and retake this bomb site. And he does die, but it is on the bomb site itself. And Poon Monkey just tapping the bomb, trying to force out these terrorists. And that is DinkedIn potentially finding their way back into this game.
Why you no save? You gotta like look at it from an economy perspective on that round. Saving there was the right choice to make. I know hindsight's a wonderful thing, and these guys are most likely going to go back and watch these maps that we're watching now, and kind of go, "Oh, I should have done this differently. I should have done that differently." I think that'll be a moment that you'll look back and go, "I should have probably saved the AK rather than sticking it." You know, the grenade wasn't going to do a lot. There's 2 players there. That's a dink straight up. Need to get a second to make it worthwhile. He isn't able to get the reload off in time, and Moose will fall after taking downside.
I love how Poon Monkey has no care in the world whatsoever. Even on a full eco, only a slight upgraded pistol, he's still rushing down that mid and trying to find an opening kill for his team. And ultimately, it does go back to bite him as he does die early on, followed closely by his teammate. And now it's a 2-on-4 situation for the MS office side.
It's a good fake, this is, but it's not going to play off. Yeah, I was going to say it's not going to play off because Bad Blood is in Palace and you could definitely hear the footsteps. There was a smoke grenade popped over towards B window, shop window, I should say, onto B site, but it's not really going to work. RMQ, just go for frags, my friend. Try and get one. Pax, if he's not looking the right direction, might be able to get him. He will indeed. Don't pick the up. What are you doing? Run away. Run away, save AK to fight another day and all that.
That is all he's going to be looking to do in this situation, trying to get out with that AK and trying to keep it in his hands to try and keep some of that economy advantage for his side, but looks like they're not even going to be checking this position right now, and he's actually managed to get away with it.
Alpha wanted to, but I don't think... I think he wanted to peek that doorway to see if he could perhaps drag attention, but it's a death sentence. That is, you peek that angle wrong or at the wrong time and he's looking at it, you're dead. And that's 2 AKs lost into that round. So yeah, I mean, economy versus economy-wise, allowing RMQ to save an AK and not losing an AK out of the fight to get the AK back off him makes perfect sense.
And that AK is the only thing that they really buy into this round. Some upgraded pistols and some armor. But they're going to be looking to RMQ to try and make something work with that AK, as we already see the terrorist starting to barrel up connector but opt to jump back into window. And that, as soon as that smoke fades, downside is going to be peeking onto it, and he does pick up RMQ, and that is the AK out of this round. But Bad Blood did manage to find that one frag towards A ramp and has an AK of his own. I'd imagine that this is going to be save call early on, as Bad Blood does actually pick up another, but there's another AK available for the hands of Poon Monkey if he does opt to try and find it.
Fairly dangerous place again, because like DinkedIn are now stacked up quite nicely on this side. Maybe Hunt. I wasn't actually thinking on it logically. I'm looking at the numbers. Sorry, I'm thinking and speaking out loud at the same time. Look at the economy difference between the two of them. It makes sense for them to stick together as a 3-pack and move together. You know, yes, we've got the one CT anchor player that's just stacked back at T-Spawn waiting for them to return, but don't go hunting. Save those weapons. Bring them into the next round. That's 39. It's still recoverable. You know, still very, very, very much recoverable. They only need to punish... They need to punish Microsoft on 2 rounds. This one and the next one. And that brings it well within reach, but also it does the damage economy-wise that we need them to do.
It all goes back to that round where I said it was literally make or break for the DinkedIn side, and we're seeing them now pick up the momentum that they need to be able to get back into this game. They're slowing it down now, not taking it as quickly and trying to take a hold of the map control as they have done in the previous rounds so far. Only really Quack showing himself towards the B-bomb side, and it actually does go down. Pax managing to pick up the refrag and a second onto it, and now Moose actually takes out Pax in midair. Clay pigeon shooting now. Windway picking up one of his own with that orb, but this is still very much doable for DinkedIn. The health advantage is there, and that's the call coming out for the save. Moose and Bad Blood already evacuating the B-bomb site, not wanting to give up these weapons and wanting to keep them in their hands to keep that economy in good stead.
Let's be honest, that shot from Windway was naughty. Like, very much so. Oh, no.
We almost got a glimpse of Santa Steve there.
That's done. Almost. Not quite, though.
Even though DinkedIn do lose 4 players into that round, they still have a relatively good economy behind them. 11,000 on Alpha alone. That means he is able to drop a couple of his teammates if need be, and looks like that's exactly what's going to be happening with Downside picking up an AK.
I still feel, again, that last round was around to punish economy-wise. They weren't able to complete the full punish. Yes, they took 4 players down, but realistically, saving an AWP into it is probably not ideal. This round now, huge. Because look at the economy that's left. They've just taken down Bad Blood with 2,250. 250 for Moose, 1,600 for Yumi, and like not even $100 between the last 2 players. So realistically, if we get a big DinkedIn round here, this could be the momentum push that they need to get themselves back into winning this map.
Yeah, 2 versus 5 situation. You don't really see much that MS Office are able to do to try and take back this round, but they are going to try and play for that economic damage. Poon Monkey already picking up 1, looks for the second and does go down. 2 downside, and now it's only RMQ. Just slowly walking away in the underpass. So I don't want to be a part of this. I'll keep my M4. And you guys have fun.
Just saying this out loud, I think we're all thinking it. I need to get myself a better job. I'm seeing an M4A4 Howl. Just seen an Empress. This is a Royal Paladin. This is very...
Damn, when did the Wonders get here?
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the skins. I like the economy in skins. I just can't help myself. I promise you. I'm not going to buy any more. I promised myself I wouldn't.
Actually, I think I got that name completely wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Scrawny that likes his skins, not Launders.
Scrawny likes his skins.
Yeah,
yeah Scrawny does.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
blue
it's
steel. Okay,
Scrawny.
sorry.
I'm
now just looking at the skins. Oh, RMQ's like, I want none of them knives. I just use the default one. It's better.
Skins don't equal skill, my dude.
They genuinely don't. They genuinely don't. I have a few skins that are quite special to me that I'll never get rid of, and they really don't make me a better player at all. DinkedIn, however, are showing that skins do work for some people, at least anyway. Windway will take the first kill, and Downside will also pick up one of his own as well. Yumi is standing by, ready to receive the additional players that push up towards mid, but Windway is just too quick for him. Managed to get that frag onto Yumi as he peels back after taking that incendiary grenade out. Alpha does a lot of damage, but takes a lot in return from Moose. And this is 5v1, 5v none. This is the punishment I was on about. Because now look at the economy. They can afford to buy into this, but it's not a big buy. We're talking SMGs maybe, pistols. Yeah, we're going to see pistols.
Yeah, that flawless round coming out for the DinkedIn side is really going to be playing into their favour coming forward into this second half. One round away from tying it up, and looking at the weaponry on this CT side, you'd be very surprised if they didn't tie it up. But again, CS is a wonderful game, and we can see the strangest things happen in a moment's notice.
Yeah, pistol rounds have gone very strange ways before, but this one isn't going that direction for us at the moment. 13-12, 13-13 about to be.
And this just speaks multitudes to how well balanced these two teams are. The first series that we watched today was completed in about 1 hour and 10 minutes. This map alone has already been going on for about 45.
Yeah. I said this is going to be the match that's going to go the full 3. Like I see it happening already.
Moose.
Moose.
This is the moment of brilliance. Exactly what I was talking about. MS Office needed something into this round. With only the upgraded pistols, and Moose makes it happen with 2. It does go down in the end to that AK of Windway. Downside, sorry. Windway is actually already on the bomb site trying to get this bomb down, but RMQ has an idea where he's coming from, and this round that was doable in the eyes of Yumi is still doable. He's still pushing on towards this B bomb site, but Windway has the AWP trained on short and takes him down with relative ease.
This man's too quick. Windway is just absolutely on fire with the AWP tonight. I don't think we've seen him really drop around. Where he's not had bang on target with it. He's kind of squiffed it a bit. I don't think we've seen a single round where that's happened. Every shot he's looked to get, he's hit. In some way, not killed. Sometimes only legged or wounded, but he's just banging these rounds out for us. 13-13 though into round 27. And I don't know about you, but the stickers on some of these skins definitely do not match up. I hope you saw that as well then.
I'm not paying attention to the skins like you are, Steve. I'm paying attention to the game. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Poon Monkey already pushing out onto the B-bomb site with his CT side and takes down 2. And this rush that's coming out from DinkedIn was shut down, but Windway has other ideas, as does Pax. 2-on-3 situation. Windway actually picking up Moose through that wall. Moose already on low health, and now Windway in a 1 versus 2 situation. If anybody can do it on this CT, on this terrorist side, it is Windway, and he does pick up the kill onto Bad Blood. And jumping over the van gets a headshot of 4K clutch coming out for Windway.
Okay. Now we're on.
Somebody explain that, please.
Yeah, that was unreal. That was incredible play. Like, I'm flabbergasted by what we just witnessed from Windway. That was exactly what DinkedIn needed in that round. High momentum, high impact, exactly what DinkedIn needed. And if they win this one, I mean, look at the economy difference. Like, this round goes in favor of DinkedIn. It's game over as far as I'm concerned. Unless something very strange.
We have seen some moments of brilliance coming out from this MS Office side.
Yeah, but there's brilliance, and then there's pulling off the impossible. You know.
Well, when Windway's playing like that,
yeah,
I don't see a way for them back into it, as he's not missing any of his shots, as you said earlier. We've not really seen him drop many shots. He's not really been off the mark with that up and downside, boosting up into window, picks up Moose, and this is looking like it is map point for DinkedIn as downside finds another 2 versus 5, 2 versus 4 now. Poon Monkey and Yumi with it all to do.
Not impossible, but improbable.
Poon Monkey gets the first. It's now a 2-on-3. Yumi coming in from kitchen actually does pick up one of his own. Only an MP9 in hand now. It's going to be a little bit hard to do. Does pick up the AK. Knows where one player is playing from. Has no idea of the second. That Molotov is going to force Alpha back just a little bit. He's now limited to where he can go from. And Yumi has an idea of the second. Windway, as we say, doesn't miss a shot.
This is... I'm calling it map 1 to DinkedIn. Look at that economy difference. What DinkedIn have done is they've allowed Microsoft space. They've allowed them the room to maneuver around themselves. They've allowed them a little bit of extra room on mid on more than one occasion. We'll both agree on that for definite. And now they're going, right, okay, restrict. Let's do 2-on-1 fights. Let's do 3-on-2 fights. Let's try and clear site as quick as we can. Okay, that round worked. We didn't go that quick. Let's slow it down again. They're basically just adapting. They're flowing with Microsoft. You know, they're allowing Microsoft to basically dictate the speed of the rounds and then flow in with it. It's exactly what you want to see. You see mostly professional teams doing it like that. Mainly professional teams, I should say, not mostly.
Slow play coming out from DinkedIn now, even with the what, I can't even remember how many rounds in a row now. I think it's 6 or 7 rounds in a row.
9 rounds.
9 rounds in a row. They're still not exactly just... They're not wanting to give up any easy frags, and Yumi actually picks up one of his own, and... Oh, Moose coming in with 2 now, and this is doable for MS Office. Moose with a 3rd, all onto Windway. He doesn't have the AWP in hand. He's actually opted for the AK. Gets the first, spots out the second. Oh, the spray transfer isn't onto RMQ, and we could be going to overtime.
Economy difference is still there. I mean... You can tell it's serious because I'm actually like sat about 5 inches away from my monitor now. What's strange is we don't see a double up play. Normally over this point you would. If you've got the economy to back it, you play a double up play. That way then you clear mid and you can clear from a palace. Neither of these teams are really wanting to do that at the minute. Again, that's more of a professional thing, though, realistically. And I got to keep reminding myself, even though we're seeing some like unbelievable plays, these guys aren't pros. You know, they are everyday Joes like you and me. Perhaps maybe better at video games than you and me, though.
Moose actually picks up 2, and now it's a 1-man advantage situation for the MS Office side. And Poon Monkey is not expecting anyone up mid, and Windway has that AWP in hand, and if you're these CTs, you're going to be worried about that AWP and where it's coming from. But Bad Blood, he's still in dark. He's not been fully cleared at this moment in time. Pax seems to have an idea that somebody's in this area, but he's still not 100% watching it. And Bad Blood gets the information that somebody is towards jungle and gives up his position, and therefore gives up his life. But Yumi, holding into CT now, spots the cross. And that's all the information they need for the rotate to come on over and for him to be supported by RMQ. RMQ, who is currently top fragging for this CT side. So if anybody's able to clutch out this round for MS Office and take it to overtime, then it's going to be RMQ. They swing out together. Yumi does a lot of damage onto Windway, and now Windway's low, and RMQ, exactly as I say, he is the one to clutch out the round and take us to OT. The series is going the distance.
I'm like 100% eating my words. Just throwing it out there. I will never, ever open my mouth ever again about stuff like that. Genuinely, I mean, you look at the economy difference. That's I don't understand how DinkedIn haven't won. They punished like 9 rounds in a row, 10 rounds in a row.
Yeah, and they won on a round that was simply where they had no money.
Yeah,
and have
literally
managed to
no
bring
money
it
at all.
back to OT.
Yep, confusing times. But hey, that's CS. That literally is CS. You know, that's how this works, unfortunately, sometimes.
I forgot about this bug. Oh no, I'm stuck on the floor.
Best of luck.
Following the smoke bug. I forgot, no.
Radio CSGO. Everything is pushing towards A side at the moment. I'm going to keep you updated as best I can because I can still see the game on my end of things. Yumi and Bad Blood are splitting the difference.
There we go.
And taking down the attacking players. This round is going to go in favor of MS Office unless Windway and Downside can do something big. Downside will fall to Yumi. And that's one way out of the fight. And Moose does, in fact, finish that round off for us in favor of MS Office.
And that's a flawless round coming out from MS Office in this 10k overtime. A flawless round is huge. Because look at the money already on DinkedIn. They're already on the edge of having no money for this final round. They need to put up some kills and put up some, well, hopefully put up a win to enable them to buy into that last round and give themselves a fighting chance into their CT side of overtime.
Planting kills, what we need. Plenty of both.
Quite a slow round coming out once again from DinkedIn, not really wanting to push towards any particular location, as Pax actually makes a huge play getting into window and instantly goes to the rotate through into market and does actually get spotted out by Yumi on the rotate, and this is exactly what DinkedIn were not looking for now. And one player left in the form of Windway, no players left in the form of DinkedIn.
DinkedIn. Last round first off, throw everything at him. We've got money to play around with, unfortunately, so we need to push everything into Microsoft.
Moose has picked up that AWP. We've seen him hit some insane shots so far into this game, and can only imagine that that is going to continue further into this overtime and hopefully into map 2, as we see already. Moose watching the connector position, does get smoked off, but there's a gap in that smoke, and that's all that Moose needs. Picks up the first frag into this last round of this first half of OT, and the second, and it's all falling apart at the seams for this for this dinked inside. Downside, only the player left alive. 1 versus 4?
Yeah, I mean, again, Stranger Things, but I don't see it happening. He's got to get an opening pick into B side if he's going to go that direction. Well, he's back on mid, so I mean, he could realistically go either way, but he's going to get pincered at some point because, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm really not, Moose is the man that's kind of hovering and rotating himself around to keep an eye on window and, you know, coming out through connector as well. Downside now will get spotted going towards short. That means that Boone Monkey is going to be standing by ready to pick him up should he need to. But he actually bounces back and he goes towards the open mid, basically, where he's just fragged a player and walks into the crosses of another. 18-15.
Currently,
once again,
MS Office, the overlay is wrong. Ignore that, it'll change shortly. MS Office are on a 6. 5-round win streak. They were 15-13 down. That was the round that they won on a half bye. And now they are 3 rounds ahead after the first half of OT. You cannot write this.
You really can't. Oh, the double split there. Moose and RMQ just picking up the extra frags. Clears out B site completely. Bombs down. And that's it. This is map 1 over and done with. Pax, unless he can pull off the impossible and take down 2 full health players and Moose on top of him with only an AWP to work with.
Molotov is going to force out Yumi though, but he's not watching for the actual swing from Yumi. And now Pax has it all to do. USP in hand, does the damage onto Yumi as we lag, and unfortunately Pax does go down, and that is the first map going the way of MS Office. Steve. Wow.
Well, I mean, I'm fairly certain that I've eaten my words there. I genuinely felt that that game was over and done with. I genuinely thought that we weren't going to go to OT. It was done and dusted as far as LinkedIn were concerned. They won so many rounds on the bounce. It just felt improbable for Microsoft Office to kind of bounce back from it. But as we both know, stranger things do happen within CS, and Microsoft Office were able to push out those additional rounds and take us run through to OT. I'm just interested to see what Map 2 brings, to be honest with you. I think you're probably just as interested as I am. It really is anyone's to play for at the minute. I mentioned at the start of this game, and we both kind of talked about it before we went live. LinkedIn and Microsoft are the only game they played against each other. It went more or less the full distance, so they're fairly well stacked up against each other. We'll see what Map 2 brings. I think we're going to take a small break though, if I'm not mistaken, while we wait for everyone to get back into queue. So
Map 2
we'll
is
run
Vertigo. So it's going to be an interesting one.
Yes,
it's not a map that a lot of teams favor, so we'll see if the pick into it from LinkedIn is going to pay off. But before we do that, as Steve said, we are taking a short break. The players want to have 5 minutes to cool down, recuperate, get their thoughts together, and figure out what they need to do coming into this next map. But from us, don't go anywhere. It's going to be an exciting second map, and hopefully we do go the full distance to the third. Take care. We'll be back very shortly.
See you in a minute.
told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They say, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. On to the place where all this began. Just start again. You won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not lost.
So I work at Amazon. I'm actually part of the Ops Tech IT team, which is just like operations IT. Aside from that, I just pretty much game. I'm at home with my fiance and 4 cats and taking care of our newborn son.
We are here today for the Corporate Esports Association Overwatch 2020 Spring Playoffs. It is going to be a spectacular day.
After most of it only does get one as the blizzard comes out on the backside. T also going to find the Deadeye onto Specs on the high ground. Google has to press on the pedal to try and touch this point. And they're not! Oh, it comes up short. Amazon Fire Force will be able to take Volskaya Industries.
CEA to me is like an organization that pulls together a lot of these like top companies around the world. I think it's like a great team building function, and then also it's for a great cause. It's for charity.
And since 2 members showed up in the top lane, they're immediately going to go for the dive in the mid lane with the damage on the Pandoria. Going to be able to pick up the kill. Twice over for Apocalypse. Everyone else is going to be running for the hills. Nobody wants to be able to join in this fight. With the minions there, the Baron's still on everybody. This is going to be the grand finals for Team Amazon Stock Dip. They've got the money, $5,000 for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. They have secured it for themselves with a 3-0 victory.
Yeah, so like losing to Adobe was like pretty heartbreaking. I got like the second place trophy in the mail. I'll see it like every day. I'm like, it's like a reminder, like you have to do better. You always have to like somebody out there is better than you. Like you should always try to be the best. But like we're definitely gonna come back way stronger, way better. We don't want to drop another game during the season. We definitely don't want to lose in grand finals.
Adobe Illustrators taking this next map.
Hello everybody and welcome back after that very short break. We do have the players all in game, all ready to go. We're just waiting on the first round to actually start. Welcome back, Steve. That first game, it went the distance.
It did indeed, and we didn't expect it to. Well, I didn't expect it to. We didn't expect it to go to OT. We expected to go to distance. We expected it to be one clear winner at the end of 30 rounds, and that was it. So to see it go the distance and then some, that's a tale of what's to come for the rest of these games. That's all I'm going to say about it. That is exactly what we're looking to see for the rest of them. Vertigo is one of those maps that is peculiar. I think it's probably the nicest way of putting it. It's one of those sort of maps where there's multiple ways that you can play this map. There's multiple different play techniques involved in it.
Oh, okay, Moose. Okay, Moose.
Moose, I play it how I want to play it.
Yeah,
that's insane.
DinkedIn were trying to get onto the B-bomb site dry, no flashes, no smokes, and the USPs are dangerous.
I mean, you say that, but there was a flashbang. Moose took a bit of it, popped around down the staircase, and it kind of slowed the momentum enough for him to be able to double back. But he was able to get himself into a really just beautiful position, to be able to pick up those free frags so quickly and just stop any form of push from DinkedIn. Again, it's it goes back to what I was saying just literally 20 seconds ago. This is a map which has multiple playstyles.
Oh, Poon Monkey, do
it! Wow. I'm officially stood up. Sorry, I'm just going to stand up for a minute.
$2,400 from the first 4 kills, and then an extra 300. He's got money for days, and that round was over in what, 10 seconds?
10 seconds, if that.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm officially stood up, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm done now at this point.
Right, this is where I check his camera to prove whether he's taught. Yeah,
I'm sat down now.
No, he stood up.
I got my camera's lagged on your end of things.
Okay.
I don't know why all my stuff is crashing on me for whatever reason. Anyway, I can still see gameplay. That's the most important thing, and I hope you can still hear me at least.
You can. I can. And hopefully everyone else can. Downside actually taking a bit of damage from his teammate there as he does throw that smoke, and the wrap is already coming out from this MS Office side, but MS Office not opting to buy up into this round, but can you blame them after that huge round, the previous one? And Yumi could go huge here. He gets 2 straight away. The head armor not really doing anything against that MP9, and that is now a 3-on-3 situation, and the CTs know where this take is happening. They're running straight onto the B-bomb site. Not a care in the world. Moose with the MP9 once again, picking up another one, and now it's all down to Alpha with this AK-47 in hand. Only needs 2 shots, technically, if he's good enough to take down these CTs. But none of them are good enough. And that's another round of MS Office.
And I'm really bothered by it. 3-0.
Yeah, it's not really looking great for the DinkedIn side. Admittedly, it's on the back of the pistol round, so still anything can happen into this game. And this was picked by DinkedIn. They're already 3 rounds down off the back of the pistol. I think we actually lost Steve. So it's going to be a solo cast for a little bit. RMQ picking up the first along with Guac in the refrag, but Bad Blood picking up another one of his own. And now it looks like it's just going to be the straight up rush onto this A-bomb site. Alpha just looking to get a gun and try and get the bomb planted. Pax does actually pick up another kill in the form of Bad Blood. And this is looking very favourable for the terrorist side right now. Alpha now down as well, and it's all on Pax. Desert Eagle in hand. We've seen him hit some big shots so far. Gets one and the second through the smoke. And that's the first round on the board for this DinkedIn side. Maybe this is the start that DinkedIn need to keep going forward to try and take this game by storm. MS Office coming off the back of that strong comeback into Mirage. I think we do have Steve back in voice. Steve, can you hear me? Have you returned?
No idea what I was commentating, not gonna lie. I was still going.
I was just sat there, I was like, there was just silence, so I looked over at your camera, it was frozen, I was like, okay, Steve's gone.
Yeah, I was in the middle of it then. I was going for it, everything was going great. And then no, he just none. Yeah. Nothing. I was like, oh my god, that was a hell of a round, yeah, well played. And I was like, what do you think, Jakey? Nothing. I was like, I think my Discord may have crashed or something. Anyway, let's crack on. No, I'm not a DinkedIn fan, for whoever said that in chat. I'm just a very good fan of good plays.
And good play is exactly what is being brought out by the DinkedIn side. Yumi's on the flank, Windaway is watching it, and again, Windaway does not miss those shots. Moose now opting to save the M4 in hand with the full head armor and the diffuse kit. And these players are already hunting him. Windaway actually opting to drop off the AWP to his teammate of Pax, which makes sense. Pax is one shot. AWP is usually only good for the one shot unless you get very lucky on your rotate off. Moose actually looking like he's going to be able to save this M4 with relative ease. Nobody's really perusing over towards this B bomb site. Now Alpha does start to come over, but opts against it in the end, and that's a second round on the board for DinkedIn.
Yep, indeed. Second round. Got to be picked up. It's good rounds to be winning for DinkedIn. I'm having to be very, very careful now because, like, yeah, I've been called out in chat. Someone's saying I'm a DinkedIn fan. It's a very good round.
Did they pay you? How much should they pay you?
They've definitely not paid me anything at all, trust me. All they've said is that my LinkedIn account gets verified. But anyway, no, I don't know, I should have a LinkedIn account. I should probably make one at some point. I think everyone does nowadays, don't they? It's the new Facebook for business people. One
thing I wanted to point out is the kill disparity for this CT side. There's 3 rounds on the board for them, but Poon Monkey is already on double figures. He's already at 10 kills. Admittedly, he did get that ace into round 2, but still, the rest of his team not really having the opportunity to put much impact in, and Poon Monkey actually picking up a second, but Moose is here with him. Oh, the pincer could have been huge there, but Moose unfortunately goes down to the AK of Downside. And now this B bomb site.
Good intelligent play by Downside as well. Yeah, Downside actually just dropped an AK as well down center. It's good intelligent play. Stop that from happening. Downside picks up. Oh, makes sense again. Low HP. He's one hit. Even from pistol, he's one hit. Molly onto site. Oh, nicely done. And we noticed as well, the Molotov didn't quite make it all the way to the bomb, but nonetheless, it kind of pushed the player into position ready to receive the AK. So, fairly well played round.
I don't think in that situation that not Downside, that Poon Monkey was really looking to try and defuse the bomb in that situation. I think he was aiming to just try and do some economic damage and try and get away with a weapon in his hands. But if that situation would have been different and it would have been Downside peeking on the AWP, then that first kill would have gone his way and he potentially had a way back into that round. But that was not the way that round went down. And ultimately a third round on the board for DinkedIn.
No avail. 3-3 though into round 7, so leveled up as we get to the halfway point in the first half of the second map. Oof, I always messed that up. I don't know why. My brain couldn't count the number of halves that we're on at the minute. But at the minute, it's very much like slowed down. You know, the bomb is stacked obviously to move towards the A position, but realistically, it's about timing here at the minute, and that 50-second countdown is what's going to lead things off. The smoke grenade is deployed onto site, and this is now where we start to see those additional players pushing through, clearing out those little danger spots that we often find that get missed. Bomb plant will go down. Good trade of damage there onto Pax, but just not quite enough. Poo Monkey will clear through Guac.
Oh, Yumi actually picks one up with his MP9, and this is doable for the CT side. Well, it was before Windway and Downside had anything to say about it, and that's another round going the way of LinkedIn or DinkedIn. And they're on a bit of a tear right now, but this is exactly what happened on Inferno. The first 3 rounds went to MS Office, and then DinkedIn went on a run. But then ultimately, MS Office brought it back towards the end of that second half and ultimately won in OT. Don't forget that these players are playing for charity this evening. The winner takes home $1,600 for their charity. MS Office playing for Child's Play, and DinkedIn playing for UNICEF. Good thinking and good memory, because mine did not serve me well. But yeah, $1,600 goes towards the charity of the winner's choice, and then
Windway. Sorry, Windway's just smashing things out here. He's like, I see target, I smash target. Everything's dead in front of me.
Second place does get a prize before I was rudely interrupted by Steve.
Apologies, yes.
$800 goes towards their charity. And if you would like to get involved next season in playing for a charity of your choice with some of your colleagues, just like some of the teams are doing today, make sure you head over onto CEA.gg and sign up your team to participate in the next season of this league. Obviously, not only just CSGO, other games happen too.
Other games indeed. We were talking about this earlier on in the break. We had a 2.5-hour break, more or less 2 hours and a bit, I'd say. And we were talking about it just before we both left to go make some food, because obviously for yourselves it's like, what I would imagine, we started at 11, it's just like about 4:30ish now. Stateside. For us it's 12:30 at night, so I went to go make some food in the break so I could actually have eaten something today. And yeah, we were talking a little bit about the different games and all that kind of stuff, like the League of Legends. I've not played it myself, but I'm actually interested after watching some of the games that have been played. Sacrilege from a CSGO player, I know, but
Bad Blood is doing huge work into this round. Already picked up 2 and does actually have the aggression to go for a third onto Pax. Does a lot of damage, but doesn't actually get that kill. And now to 4-on-3 situation. Windway slow peeking into that angle there. That's actually surprising that he was that slow. He's usually quite an aggressive AWPer, usually just goes for the wide swing quickly and gets those kills. But Yumi on the flank takes down Downside, and that's MS Office bringing another round back into their favor.
Yumi's like old reliable. Wherever you seem to place him, he's going to get the frag. He's going to win that fight. You know, it says quite a lot when you're the second in your team for frags. You know, he's always going to win that one-on-one. It's very nice to watch.
Whenever I mention Yumi, my brain always resorts back to the
Caster?
CSGO caster.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Yumi's playing. Wait, no, it's different Yumi. Different spelling, same pronunciation, but Bad Blood already picking up another kill on this short side and opting to back off as opposed to re-aggress, and already the aggression coming out from Yumi. He's already down those B stairs, already looking to try and get some information. He knows that the CTs aren't coming this direction. And now Alpha, Pax and Windway are trying to find an avenue into this A bomb site. The smokes are there to allow them to cross. Boosters up on the boosted boxes now. And Yumi is once again trying to play this late lurk, late flank.
4-on-3, but HP difference is there. There's a bit of utility spread into LinkedIn. There's D-Linked as well. Okay. Didn't need the utility, they just started fragging instead. Why not? If it works, it works.
Yeah, DinkedIn
6-4.
reset. Well, I'd say resetting the economy of MS Office, but they do actually still have the economy to buy back into this next round, into round 11.
I can't help but think that's a bad idea, though.
They had around $4,500 before they bought up, so it's a decent amount. And now, if they do lose this round, then yes, they are going to be full reset. But
they should be on max loss bonus now, anyway. If I'm not mistaken, they should still be on max loss bonus. I should say.
They won one, so they had one taken away, and then they lost one again. So yeah, they should be.
Yeah,
back
so
on full
they'll now
loss
be
bonus.
back up. Yeah. So realistically, then thinking on it, it is now viable for them to buy.
Bad Blood spots out the barrel of downside and gets the first kill, goes to the second, unable to land those crucial bullets into the face of Alpha though, and Yumi already holding aggressive onto this B stairs, which he does every single round, and gets that kill, and now he's looking for more. Windway does spam him out, but unable to land those frags, land those damage, but Guac does the majority of it, and then the single bullet. This is actually a big play coming out. They faked out the B rotation, and now they're running straight back to A, but the CTs are already on it. They're already on the way. They're already setting up for this push onto A. And Windway, that's the exact aggressive AWPing that I was talking about earlier on. He's not one to slow peek. He's not one to just shy away from a fight. But neither is Boomage.
Wow.
He gets one, he gets two, and he clutches the round for MS Office. Pushing through that smoke, catching both T's off guard.
This man has absolutely been on fire, and I mean, like, constant. Just wow. And I think everyone else can appreciate that. That's a round you don't expect him to win with a FAMAS, especially with 3 players on site waiting for him to push in through that smoke. The weird thing about that situation, and I wish we had replays work, and I know you do as well, but the replay of that would have literally shown a smoke grenade pop, and he's already through the smoke grenade as it pops. There is no, like, wait for it to pop. There is just immediate aggression, push through, get in, get the site cleared, get out. I love it.
RMQ playing aggressively above sandbags, picks up 2. Bad Blood chiming in with one of his own, and now, just like that, it's already down to a 1-on-5 situation. Windway, we know he's hit shots with the AWP. He does spot out one, but moves is quicker on that trigger. And that is all tied up between these two teams.
I feel it's important that we talk about one thing and one thing only, is the map picks. Well, we spoke about it a little bit earlier on. I know we did, obviously, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. The map pick, Vertigo's been picked by DinkedIn. So if this goes in the direction that it's currently going in, and we end up going to OT again or whatever, and Microsoft with it, they've not only won their pick, they've won DinkedIn's pick as well. That's a formidable side, especially with the way that the map, the previous win-loss ratios that we talked about is brought into it as well. DinkedIn are definitely a formidable team, but they're one of the only teams to not lose a single game. Could this be the first game they lose the entirety of the season?
Well, DinkedIn are certainly putting up a fight and trying not to let that happen, but they are wrapping towards the A bomb site, and RMQ's already set up here. Catches the timing on the rotate off the angle, but Guac follows it all the way around, and now it's down to Moose and Yumi. Moose on this AWP already with 1 kill into the round. Yumi once again playing that late lurk role, trying to flank and trying to pick up a kill. He's actually going to be facing up against Guac. That's going to be the initial engagement, and that's the low player, but the head angle coming out from Guac is superior for the MP9 to try and actually make a difference.
Oh, nice kill by Moose. He's got to run now, isn't he? He's not going to get hunted, obviously, but he doesn't. We know that. He doesn't know it. But it's a good frag from him, at least. Anyway, it does a bit of damage to the economy. No one's going to get anywhere near him, though. Good save on the AWP. Brings us into round 14, the very, very late stages of the first half of the second map in this best of 3. I got it right first time, or second time, but you know what I mean.
DinkedIn
This is
actually
a best of 3.
calling a timeout after winning that round. Probably trying to figure out what the economy of the CTs is like after they saved that up. Double up setup coming out once again. It did come out earlier on. It wasn't actually too much of a too much of an impact into that round.
Yeah, definitely. I think, from you and our perspective as well, looking at the way that these maps have gone in the past, I would imagine Microsoft want to win this map so they don't have to go to Overpass to the 3rd map because they haven't won on Overpass this season. Yeah, I would imagine normally you and I can kind of tell why the timeouts have been in. This one's between either trying to figure out the economy of Microsoft or if it's to let that round loss settle. To give Microsoft time to think about that round loss and be like, right, okay, well, which way do you think they're now going to play it, kind of thing, give them that little bit of extra room to breathe. We are round before final round as well, so that's also a good time to time out, especially if you've got 3 available to you. Give yourself that little bit of a breather room, breathing space. I don't know. There's a lot of different questions that can happen, right?
Yeah, and we're seeing the typical 5 AK setup coming out from this terrorist side, and one of the things I just want to point out is still the kill disparity on the MS Office side. Poon Monkey is still just under 2 times kills as the rest of his team. The nearest player is 8 kills. He's on 15, obviously 5 of which came from the second round.
I was going to say, we're going to take into consideration that 5k into pistol as well. That's a huge round, but realistically, I'm not going to say an easy 5k because I'm going to get slaughtered for it, but at the same time, it's a 5k that you'd expect him to win, given that he had an SMG and they had pistols.
Slow play.
Shotgun Toothpaste in chat says as well, this is actually a really good point. That break could have just been a P break. It could have. I mean,
I'd be worried because we did have a 5-minute break before this map started. So if their bladder is that small, you need to go see a doctor. As we do see this slow play now start to bubble up, and Bad Blood catches out Quack with a nade in his hand, and Bad Blood picks up a second with that M4, switches out to the AK, does readjust onto the bomb site, but actually does get taken down, and now it's Poon Monkey once again showing no respect for the smoke. Pushing through and getting another kill, and then RMQ to finish it off against Windway. Poon Monkey,
the man absolutely loves pushing.
Doesn't respect anything.
Nothing to do with smokes. Just shut up. It's like, I'm going to go through here. The thing of it is as well, like, you look at it from... You do it once or twice, fair enough, but he's done that 3 or 4 times, and he's caught players out 3 or 4 times doing it. There's got to come a point where you relax it back and maybe not do it. But realistically, if DinkedIn aren't figuring that out by now, that if he's still up, he's going to push that smoke. I don't know what else to say to them.
Relatively easy round coming out, not much to talk about, but Quack does actually make it interesting. Now 1-on-2, has the AWP in hand. He is a 1-shot kill, so that AWP is going to make the difference. We haven't really seen
Tech9's had. I was just going to say Tech9's had like a massive buff because I'm seeing. I mean, I've been covering about 3 or 4 games this week, and the Tech9 is just looking very formidable again, like it was 2-3 sort of buffs ago.
And that is the first half going the way of MS Office. Not really too much to talk about. It's been quite a back and forth affair into this first half, and I'd imagine we're only going to be seeing more coming into the second half.
What are your kind of thoughts from that first half? You know, what's going to change for DinkedIn and what's going to stay the same for Microsoft?
I think Microsoft are just going to look at Poon Monkey, throw a smoke, and be like, "Go boy, go," because that's all. That's been catching DinkedIn off so many times. Again, for anybody that's not that's not been here. The overlay is wrong right now. DinkedIn are actually on a defense. MS Officer on attack, I think. Yes?
Yes, they are.
So that
Yeah,
overlay will
DinkedIn
fix
is
itself. It's just a little bit buggy, and I still need to diagnose as to what's causing that. But this CT side actually coming out from DinkedIn is looking rather strong.
Ooh, that shoulder peek. Do you think he saw? Yeah, he didn't see. No, I don't think he did. He re-peeked again soft with nothing.
And now the overlay will update. There we go.
Yeah, I thought if he slid back out and re-peeked that, but he re-peeked it with a couple of shots, then he definitely saw, but he didn't. 8-8 into round 17. We've seen the first map go to overtime already. So I don't know. I mean, it's hard to really tell. Is this going to go to OT? We just don't know yet.
With how balanced it's been so far, I would not be surprised, because these teams are not giving an inch, they're not giving a millimeter, they're not giving anything towards their opposition to enable them to get back into this game. As we see Moose and Bad Bull pick up 2 of their own kills into a 2-on-3 situation. The B-bomb site's already slightly open, only Alpha holding this off angle, but the rotates in, and RMQ picking up the first, doesn't expect the second in the form of Pax. And Moose now with his FAMAS in hand does actually have the idea of where Pax is, but that reload absolutely ruins him. Doesn't realise there's only 2 bullets in the chamber. And that's another round.
I was about to say, in that situation, you're probably better hitting the reload first, then peeking that corner to put the initial shots into Pax. Because by that point, Pax is more swung out into the room. He feels a bit more comfortable, and he might have got a frag off it. Again, hindsight is a wonderful thing, of course, and you and I can pick apart rounds at our heart's content, but these guys ain't going to stop. They're going to keep pushing forward until we get to the finale.
Yeah, and if Microsoft Office don't find anything to try and hold off, well, break through the CT side of DinkedIn, then it's going to be a very hard second half for this MS Office side, as we do see 2 early frags coming the way of both teams, but the third does go the way of MS Office, and they have this B-bomb site almost under lock, the nearest player being the form of downside towards this CT spawn.
The important factor now with this site, and I've said this in numerous casts on this map, is the post-pan positioning. It's super important that you get into a very good defensive position, at least one of you, if you're in a 2v2 scenario like this. Yes, okay, Yumi's the higher HP player. Yes, he can afford to be a little bit more forward. But realistically now, RMQ needs to just sit back and wait for this player to peek him. He doesn't. He swings up to the left too much, but he's not looking in the right direction. And that's an easy round win for DinkedIn, but what realistically should have gone in favor of Microsoft.
Certainly, Microsoft had it all, well, had nothing really to do in that situation. They had a 3-on-2 retake scenario coming their way, but that first frag from Pax in towards mid really threw the CTs off guard. They do manage to pick up the one kill on the bomb site during the retake execution, but ultimately downside managing to pick up that round for DinkedIn.
Yep, indeed.
That's huge
Big
damage.
Yeah. That's good utility damage. Resmoked immediately afterwards as well. It's very well played by that. I haven't gone, by the way. I'm still here. I promise. We're just very
letting the round breathe.
Yeah, it's like a fine wine. Once you uncork it, you gotta let it breathe for a second. It's very refined of me, that was, wasn't it? You can tell it's Christmas time.
I don't like this new Steve.
I've been tainted by other leagues and everything else that's been going on for the last 3 months.
MS Office perusing towards this A-bomb site, trying to figure out where these CTs are located. Yumi playing around the smoke could actually pick up a frag if downside decides to swing out of the elevator room. does have help in the form of Guac. Those flashes now trying to allow Yuumi onto the bomb site for a safe plant. Does actually get the plant. Is he going to be able to get out from the plant? That's the real question. He's not. Downside picks up 2. RMQ and Yuumi both going down. And DinkedIn now showing exactly why this was their map pick. 3 rounds on the CT side with no signs of slowing down anytime soon.
It's interesting to look at the yeah, we might as well, while we got a couple of seconds, take a quick look at the ADLs as well as the utility damage points. Utility damage coming in from Pax, 174, 116 in there for Poon Monkey. You know, a lot of utility damage being laid out by both these sides, but it's the key moments and when they're placed. I think at least 95% of that damage is going to be Molotov. I've seen a good few, you know, bangers of flashbang of frag grenades, but majority is going to be Molotov. This map is a Molotov map more than a frag grenade map.
Poon Monkey actually picking up the opening kill towards mid, forcing that extra player to have to play the rotate, and the bomb actually starts going down, and they're having to actually clear out mid now because of that 1 kill picked up by Poon Monkey. And this is very, very favourable for the terrorist side. A 5-on-4 situation, 4-on-4 now off the downside. Picks up that kill whilst fully blind. Yuumi picks up one of his own though, and now this is looking very scary for the CTs, but Windway has other ideas. Poon Monkey just has to play time now. He gets spotted out.
Oh, nice.
Downside, I don't think he actually made that spot here, and does actually get taken down in the end.
I'm trying to think of what Microsoft had done wrong in the last couple of rounds. Outside of maybe, you know, overextended a bit too much. You know, they're pushing players into positions where realistically, you know, we don't expect them to kind of have a 2-man push onto one left side. It's awkward. You know, I'm trying to figure out the mechanics of how they can kind of recover from, you know, the deficit of what we're now 5 rounds deep into a loss. Oh, Windway, man's dangerous with an AWP.
I don't think this is more the Microsoft Office are doing things wrong. I think this is more DinkedIn playing into their map pick. They know they have a good CT side, and to be good on Vertigo terrorist side, you need to be a well-oiled team. And
yeah,
currently Microsoft Office, well, you need to be a well-oiled team, and you need to work on this map and actually actively scrim it and actually work on everything that happens on this map, because if you don't, it's going to be a very hard time to try and break up the well-formed CT sides.
Yeah, you get found out very quickly if you haven't scrimmed or practiced this map. It's not a pug map. You know, even if you're using your sort of main brand kind of big spray down.
2-man spray down, only small amount of health and not enough to actually be able to close out that round for MS Office.
Yeah, it's not going well. I think it's a multitude of issues and errors that are coming forward. I think buying into this round is a little bit dangerous as well. Even with, I mean, yeah, they've got max loss bonus, but even with max loss bonus, you still feel, you know, having 3,400 come back into your hands with only $50 left in it from the original, unless you get any frags on top of it. You know, it can be a very awkward round 23 for them. But let's see what they can do with the full stack of AKs.
Poon Monkey was very proficient in getting these opening kills towards mid.
Yeah, but you say that, but he then, you know, outside of maybe, you know, 3-4 rounds that we watched him perform incredibly well on, he gets the opening pick, but he loses that second fight immediately afterwards. and I can't tell if it's a concentration thing or if it's maybe an overextension. He swung out fairly wide to get that initial frag there. Is he perhaps is he swinging out too far is what I'm trying to get to.
I think as opposed to swinging out too far, there's been a few rounds where he's not been challenged on the refrag. I think maybe he's just gotten a little bit too used to that, and he's then just letting his guard down and then losing his life to that second player, and Alpha managing to clutch out this round, putting a 14th on the board for DinkedIn, and this map is looking a lot closer than our previous one, Steve.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it is indeed. DinkedIn's map choice as well. Overpass is a finale map, of course, and I think, I'm right in what I was saying earlier on. Microsoft want to do everything in their power to not let it go to Overpass, but at the minute, it doesn't seem to be working out all that well for them.
Yeah, Microsoft Office need to find something to be able to get themselves back into and break through this CT side coming out from DinkedIn, as we see Poon Monkey trying to get an early pick onto mid once again, but this time he's met by the AWP of Windway. Taken down before he's even able to see another player, and Moose, I think, maybe spotted the gun barrel there of Alpha.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's logical. Oh, big spray coming in from Alpha. He takes down 2, but Bad Blood is there and he'll get the refrag off it, but too little too late, unfortunately, and he will lose quite a few of his own players in return. Oh, just winged. Pax is there to finish things off. Not quite certain what was going on with that smoke grenade from Windway just beforehand, but it worked in the end.
Yeah, and it actually looks like we will be going to map 3, although this map has been a lot closer.
I am going to stop you. I'm going to stop you. The reason I'm going to stop you is I made that mistake in the first map. We went to OT and then Microsoft pulled it back.
Yeah,
so
but Microsoft only had to make
this.
2 rounds to make it to OT.
Stranger things have happened.
And Microsoft had a bit of a better buy to be able to come back into that round.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
And Pax is just going on a tear towards the A-bomb site, and it's all down to Poon Monkey.
Never mind. I said in chat I was going to keep hold my tongue, and I didn't. And I've been punished as a result. Map 3 it is. And what a map 3 it's going to be. We're going to be heading into Overpass for the grand of this best of 3. I don't know what else to say. I'll be honest with you. I don't think there's much else to say at the minute. Other than I genuinely don't know who's going to do what. I would imagine
Ding could have already took it at this point. They they made an amazing comeback coming into that first map, but they then allowed the players of MS Office back into that map, and now they've got to take it to a 3rd map, which they probably weren't prepping for.
I'm being told as well that we're gonna see a break. I think both players or both teams want to have a couple of minute break just to kind of reset after that as well, which makes perfect sense in fairness. But it makes sense from a Microsoft perspective to want to have a break.
Yep,
after that map, definitely does. Maybe not so much from a DinkedIn perspective. They probably want to build on that. But nonetheless, we're going to take 5 minutes or so. We'll be back shortly with map 3 in the grand finale of the CEA Counter-Strike Fall 2020 tournament. Before we do go, though, Jakey, how can players get involved in next season?
If you do want to get involved in next season and play with some of your colleagues in another season of the CEA League, make sure you head on over to cea.gg, sign up, pay your entry fee. We did see a message earlier from Pulse, one of the higher ups at CEA, that some HR departments will actually pay your entry fee if you ask nicely. So make sure you write a nice letter, say please and thank you, tell them you love them. Wait, probably don't do that. You might get a restraining order, but sign up, pay your entry fee, and hopefully we'll see you on the stage of CSGO sometime in the new year. But for now, stick around. We'll be back shortly with the final map of this big grand final.
See you in a bit.
Spirit say, what does spirit say? day.
Never reminded, never taking whatever you told me. I know what I could be, making emotion paintable and so tell me, is this what you made me?
You
time you bring me close, and you're thickening the ghost of you, bleeding tires you've undone, undone.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. And are we excited? We have the final map of the grand final of the Fall 2020 CEA League. Steve, knife round is almost live.
Almost. Almost live. I think we are actually live now, funny enough.
Shortly.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, there we are. We are live now. Sorry, in the break, me and Jakey were just talking about Christmas and obviously plans for Christmas and whatnot, and talk about alcohol for Christmas as well, weirdly enough, as you do. And now I'm already looking to spend money on alcohol that I probably shouldn't be doing. In any case, though, this knife round is almost over as Alpha is just fleeing the scene of just multiple deaths, trying to back himself off into a position where he may be able to catch one of these players out with low HP, 46. No, he's not able to get the initial click on to, and Prune Monkey will be the one to win it for the T side. Switch, I would say. Go CT side first. Yep, that's the switch.
MS Office starting on CT. Now, this is going to be an interesting game because we don't actually have too much information regarding these teams on this map. So,
well, you say that, but
this is where Steve opens his notebook.
No, I have been making notes as I go along. Obviously, we've discussed this before. LinkedIn, the DinkedIn even haven't lost a single map. They've played Overpass in this season 3 times. They've won it every single time, but they've won it like 16-8, 16-7 on more than one occasion. And as far as Microsoft Office are concerned, they won it 16-3. They've also won it 16-5, and they won it in the last season 16-10 as well. So, I mean, we don't have a lot of information to go with, but what information we do have would suggest that this is going to be, again, a fairly evenly matched map for both sides. But at the minute,
RMQ's going huge. I wasn't really talking about much in this situation because it was a 2-on-5 situation, but RMQ now picks up a 4th, and he has an idea. Well, he knows where Windway is now, and Windway's just going to go on the run. He's not wanting to give RMQ anything to get in this situation, but he does get it. He may have the ace, but I don't think he has the time. There's no kit available. He has to just run away with his ace. Sad times. And he dies to bomb too.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I very rarely ask for this, but can we please get an F in chat? That's a huge round to then lose on the huge round.
I just watched the stream, and you just see his X-ray disappear. The bomb goes. It's just like, oh, that's not nice.
And gone. There's a proper F in chat moment there for everyone. If I've ever seen one, an ace and a loss in the same round.
And now we see the quick play coming out from DinkedIn. Not really checking up the stairs as they do rush towards connector, but picking up those 2 frags. Yumi picks up one of his own, and that's a free gun, and that is a free, I think that was a MAC-10. So nothing too special, nothing too dangerous in the hands.
Spicy.
Actually, I stand corrected. It was a Galil.
Oh.
And
Oh, Alpha's got the MAC-10. Yeah.
Oh, if Poon Monkey was a little bit quicker, he could have caught the timing on the bomb here. The bomb is actually still running up towards long, and if Poon Monkey goes the right direction, doesn't look like he's going to, though. He's going to wrap. No. Oh, no, he is. But no, he's going to... Oh, come on. No, the timing. My heart, I can't take it. Poon Monkey is now just going to be saving this Galil. If he did know how much damage was done towards these T-sides, he might opt to go for it. He's technically got nothing to lose. It was an eco round.
Well, he's done it before, where he's gone for rounds like this, and I mean, in the first map, we saw him go for rounds like this, and it not fully work out for him. I see him saving. I mean, looking at his position now, he's definitely saving. Of course, we can say that for definite, but I just don't know what's going to happen as far as the hunting players, because we can see 2 of the more stacked HP players are kind of roving around looking for those additional frags where they can. Maybe trying to check those sort of camping positions that Lanky might actually be, but no one's going to push down towards T-spawn. I think everyone's happy just to leave it as it is, and we go into round 3.
Yeah, another easy round coming up. Well, I say another easy round. DinkedIn got very, very lucky in that first round, going down to the ace of RMQ, but unfortunately no kit available to him to be able to try and clutch out that 2 versus 5 situation. And now MS Office with the first somewhat heavy buy. They've got the weapons, but they don't really have the utility.
It's a double-edged sword, really, as well, isn't it? I think you'll agree with me on that, that having the buy round like this, where they've got a lot of weapons to throw into the fight, but no utility, it can play off big if you time things right. But, you know, peeking out, like, for example, here, if they were to pick out, you know, Tello to try and clear that player out, peeking it dry, it's a no-brainer. I mean, it doesn't work out for you. Not having that utility can be very, very dangerous. It can be more dangerous to have a round where you eco than... sorry, it could be more dangerous than just ecoing in the first place, what I'm trying to say. Went all around the house is just to say that, then. I don't know, what about you? I mean, would you float by like this, but without any utility? I know I wouldn't, personally.
Personally, my utility usage isn't the greatest. Yeah, I love my grenades, I love my Molotovs, but my flash and smoke usage is nowhere near as good as it should be. And that Molotov actually falling in front of his teammate from downside doesn't actually slow them down. Moose gets one onto the refrag onto downside. Now RMQ with Yumi and Bad Blood have a bit of work to do if they want to try and clutch out this round. It wouldn't surprise me. RMQ's been already on fire into this game. The one goes down towards Optimus, but Yumi does get that final kill, and now it's a first round on the board for MS Office.
Exactly, first round on the board for them. What was the word you used there? Perusing their way forward. Can't tell if I use that word correctly or not now. I'm slowly being judged, most likely by Jakey on the other side, when he's sitting there going, "Don't use my word."
How dare you try and sound as intellectual as myself?
I know, I thought I sounded quite intellectual on the last map, where I talked about leaving the wine to steep in the open air. Downside will pick up Moose in party on his own.
I don't think Moose will be having a party after that. A quick headshot, no. As we see already Windwave rushing up with that MAC-10 in hand, picks up Bad Blood, and now this A-bomb site has fallen to the side of LinkedIn. But RMQ with a swing picks up 2, and that's the bomb down, and now a 3-on-3 situation. Quick turnaround coming out from the CT side. RMQ is just getting such perfect timing in all of these peaks. Once again, he's done it again. He waits for the frag to come in and then comes out for the refrag. And there's a second ace!
Okay, he'll be a lot happier with the second ace than the first ace.
RMQ, you can't do this.
He definitely can. He's done it twice. He's going to continue to do it as well. I bet he's sitting there going, ah, there you go. Now I'm a bit happier. Got a second ace.
That's absolutely insane.
I'm just looking at this.
He's been fragging out the previous 2 maps, but I was not expecting this coming into the final map of this league. RMQ showing no holds bars, no mercy. And now, all down to Windway. He didn't have much coming into it. He has a warp. And now, could we be saying our 3rd ace into this game and we're only 5 rounds in? Unfortunately not. He runs into long with his back turned.
Welcome to my world. Curse the commentator. Take a chair. There's plenty of room. It's okay. You can just chill out wherever you want to chill out. We even have bean cushions as well. Bean cushions, bean bags.
Yeah, I'd love a bean bag right now. I really need a new chair.
I had one a long while ago when I was still a console peasant, and you know, I really loved gaming on it, like watching TV on it and all that. But after a while, like as much as it's comfortable to sit in, it don't hurt you back when you get out.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like getting up from the floor more or less, but just like slightly elevated.
And now MS Office have turned this around. DinkedIn taking those first 2 rounds off the back of the pistol. MS Office now taking the league. Only a 1-round advantage. Early days still. Sorry, I am having a stroke. I'm struggling to talk. It's getting late. So,
it is.
Oh, the spam coming through. RMQ already down to 17 HP, and that damage is going to go unknown to these players.
It's getting late, but it's also heating up quite nicely as well. We mentioned this in the second map, you know, which of the 2 teams are going to be able to be the ones to kind of fire things up for us and keep both you and I occupied and awake. And right now, both these teams are doing a lot of damage to each other and playing like out of their skin, more or less. You could tell it's the final round, and you could tell it's the final. Sorry, you could tell it's the final map of the final game of this fall 2020 series, just because of the way that both these teams are playing. They're just, you know, non-stop, basically back and forth with each other. Oh, nice audio cue there. Bit of a wasted utility though for that flashbang. He's got to have known that Moose has backed off completely to get away from sight after hearing the little legs sprinting. I say little legs, Peter, because obviously I can see his avatar. You guys can't see it, but his little legs running.
And now DinkedIn even it up once again. And there's not really any money on the MS Office side.
There's not indeed. Also, one of my favourite knives. Sorry. Anyway, moving forward.
Goddamn skins.
I don't know what it is. I mean, there's some very decent ones on display for us. I'm just happy to be here to be able to look at them. In any case, moving forward swiftly. Full AK spread, running straight down to get themselves towards B site as quickly as possible. Moose will pick up the first downside is there, however, to take out Moose from this fight. Poo Monkey retorts, takes Windway, and there's a lot of damage being spread out with these pistols, but it's a round that you'd imagine DinkedIn to win, but at the minute, it's not going in that direction, is it? Oh, it's definitely not.
It's not, no.
Wow, that was a good pistol round. That was a very good pistol round.
Yeah, opening kill coming out from Moose with that AWP, and that slowed down that push of the T's completely enough to allow the CT to rotate back in onto that B bomb site.
Yeah, that first opening pick, as you said rightly, just killed off any kind of impact that round is going to have as far as the push is concerned. It slowed the momentum down enough to allow players to get themselves into, you could argue retake position, coming from pit. Like you could genuinely argue that they're in retake, but they're not actually in retake. They're just waiting for players to push into them. It's a good round, very good round.
Bad Blood peeking up long there, getting a lot of information, but taking a lot of damage at the same time. Being now forced to back off and keep his life, as Moose does go down towards mid, and now only Bad Blood here to try and hold off the A push. The bomb is down, dropped towards the top of connector. Now recovered in the hands of Pax. Now he has to make his way slowly towards this A bomb site.
So you didn't see what just happened behind there, but Yumi unfortunately just Molotoved his own teammate out of position.
They're actually doubling
rotation.
back. They're going back to
Yeah,
B.
I was going to say, this rotation's nuts.
Monkey spots out the first. He's got RMQ here, Yumi here actually to try and aid in this hold. Yumi picks up the first, Windway comes in with a second, and now RMQ. He's just waiting for that smoke to fade. 2-on-2 situation, health favouring the DinkedIn side.
He's just played a delaying game, Monkey has in that scenario, and it's allowed RMQ to get into position to, drop heads, basically. Oh, Windway. Doesn't quite get the second.
Oh, wow, okay.
How do you drop that round? Kicking himself after that one.
He was only on 13 HP, so...
He had the man advantage, though. What I mean by kicking himself is that he had the man advantage. He had, the ability, essentially, to plant rounds on top of his head before... He had first chance at that kill, but just couldn't quite succeed in making it work. I don't know. Pistol round, though, we've seen very good pistol rounds coming in from Team Microsoft Office. Notice the change in the dynamic from DinkedIn. Just slow that momentum down as much as they possibly can.
Guac picking up 2 easy kills into connector, and now they're just going to be exploding towards a bomb site. They know that they've had 1 kill already towards B Monster, and then those 2 extra ones really confirm that this A bomb site should be completely open at this point.
Yes, I did call him Gucci Bra then for a second. I've got no idea why. My brain just fried itself. Alpha picks up that easy frag onto Yumi. So DinkedIn, again, I mean, you know what? This is 2 rounds of the bouts that they're more than likely going to pick up from it. Pool Monkey's going to take Alpha down with him, but that's a 4-man push coming his direction, and someone's bound to get the final kill onto him. Windway will actually drop as well, losing that AWP, but it'll get easily recovered by downside.
Decent amount of economic damage, though.
Yeah, but, I mean, you can't argue about... You can argue it's too little too late in some ways. You know, having those 2-round advantages coming back into it, now with third as well in between them. You could argue that it's too little too late from a CT perspective, but realistically, you know, doing that economy damage now in round 10, that means we've got, what, 5 rounds left of this half. We have 5 potential rounds up for grabs for both teams. Having more money into the latter stage of the first half is always a handy thing to do.
Losing 2 AKs like that is huge right now, and even with them running towards B, RMQ's already here with the CZ ready to pounce. And now, suddenly, less than 30 seconds into the round, Windway is in a 1 versus 4 situation.
I need to
He'd
stop
actually
talking.
be on for the ace if he manages to pull this off. And
I need to stop talking.
the last time I remember seeing a player in a 1-on-4 situation on Overpass, it was Guardian who actually managed to ace clutch out the round. Now, are we going to see a similar situation coming out from Windway? Peeks into what Moose actually picks up first, almost lines up the second, but Yumi is there for the refrag, and unfortunately no Guardian-esque ace coming out this evening.
I think if we had saw him land that first 2 shots, then maybe he would have picked up the third frag, sorry, but yeah. Too much to ask, that is. Round 11, however, terrorist timeout. Saw that one coming. Look at RMQ's KD ratio as well, 15-5.
Not surprising,
Definitely
really, after two
two
aces.
but
Yep.
yeah.
So tonight in this grand final, we've seen 3 aces coming out, I think.
Yeah, three.
3
in total.
aces, yeah. 1 for each map.
3 so far.
True. We did almost see one coming out from Windway. It was on
we
a
did indeed.
3K. Still
We very
plenty
rarely
of
do
time
this.
to see another, though.
Very rarely do this, but what are chat predictions as far as how they see the rest of this game going? I'm guessing we got fans from both
God, here
teams
we
in
go.
chat with us.
What have we
But I'm
done?
very interested to see what chat thinks, at least anyway. It's probably going to be a bad idea. I can see Paul sitting in the chat just waiting.
Like, we're waiting for this timeout to hurry up.
Yep.
Almost
Shouldn't
there.
take
15 seconds.
There we go.
Once again, this map looking extremely balanced for both of these teams. I don't think we could have asked for a bit more balanced map to finish off this.
No, definitely not.
final.
I think this is, this is the way that we'd want a grand final to go. I've been really fortunate this year, as we talked about before, where I've been able to provide commentary on multiple grand finals over the course of 2020. And I'll be honest with you, out of all the ones I've covered, this is probably one of the more intense, because you've got 2 well-placed teams. Moose.
Oh, wow. Moose actually hits that shot through, I think, one of either his teammate or one of the enemies at that point.
Yeah, so I was watching it from his perspective. That was a double kill. So he managed to get a 2-for-1 with the AWP. He shot through one T to get through to another T, kill both, which is very, very nice of him. But it does leave a little bit of a sting as we see a massive bloodbath of 3 T players and Moose, as well as Bad Blood getting taken down up on what is arguably a very positive push coming in from DinkedIn. You're pushing that many players around that angle. But as we can see, they've already backed off now, playing on the defensive. They want to keep that AWP if they can in the hand of Pax.
I think it's this counter-terrorist aggression that's really catching these T's off guard.
Yeah.
This is going to be the 2nd round or 3rd round now that this CT aggression has really made the impact and really caused a stir for DinkedIn.
Yeah, I really wish you could see what Poon Monkey was doing then. I'm assuming you caught it. He's just basically hovering his mouse, doing circles.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
Just biding his time, waiting for players to come to him. What a quiet round, or quiet end to the round, I should say. We do still have 10 seconds left on the clock. The bomb is in position that could be planted. That audio cue from the smoke enable let things start flying in. RMQ just slices Alpha apart and takes Pac down through the smoke.
Yep. And this back and forth between these 2 teams continues on.
It does. It does indeed. It just continues forward. What was the word you used, Jakey?
Are you talking about peruse? Peruse isn't the right usage in this situation. No.
Okay, fair enough.
Peruse is where you like you'd read something carefully, or you'd do something carefully.
It's way too posh for me.
RMQ with that jump peek over the wooden wall there, actually managing to spot out 2 in the water position. That grenade from Yumi might actually do some damage. Nope, goes too far. Does actually blow out that door though. And the boost now is going to be coming in. RMQ hears that drop onto the metal railing. Does Yumi not? Yumi does see it in the end.
It's such a tight pixel gap. It's sometimes almost impossible to see.
It's just kill for kill in these rounds here. Not really any team giving any sort of advantage to the other. RMQ, though, going huge once again, and a flurry of kills coming out, and that's another round going the way of MS Office.
Yep, indeed it is. 13 rounds into the final map. 7-5 in favor of Microsoft Office still.
And now an eco for the side of DinkedIn.
This is, again, an important point to make, is that this round is one that DinkedIn need to get frags into. They need to try and start laying some damage out on those low value players like Yumi. Like RMQ as well, in the sense of cash benefit of it. They've made big purchases into this round. I think RMQ actually bought the AWP Moose in the end as well.
Again, a slow round coming out for the DinkedIn side. Not really trying to cause too much stir for the MS Office side, just trying to get information, trying to maybe pick up an easy kill here or there, but Bad Blood is going to be waiting for that head to pop into his view, and he does exactly that and gets the kill. Guac actually managed to refrag onto Bad Blood, but Moose is here on the A-bomb site holding down alone. He now has RMQ in support from the dumpster position, but is he going to need it? Moose actually picks up another RMQ, chimes in with one of his own, and now it's all down to downside. RMQ picking up a second into that round. 21 kills to 6 deaths. This boy is on fire.
Yeah, he's doing what he needs to do for his team. He's picking up the kills that he needs to pick up. He's working the right angles. He's working the sort of the high value perspective for his team. It's what I want to see and what you want to see ultimately, and he's giving it to us every single round. What I would like to know, though, and I don't know if you're in the same position, is how the switch from CT to T is going to work in their favour. Because, I mean, we've seen them play very, very aggressive as far as, sort of defensive rounds are concerned. Is that aggression going to relax back maybe a little bit in the T side? They're going to allow... Oh, okay.
He could be on for his third ace right now. If I was him in this situation, I'd be like, boys, back off. Just give me some space.
Let me work. Let me work the room. No, Yumi's not going to allow him to have it.
I don't think he cares at this point. He's on a tear. His team are 4 rounds to the advantage, and now 1 round from taking this first half in quite the favourable domination manner.
Allow me to be posh for a change, in a very elegant manner. Thank you very much. I see I'm learning things as I go along. No, 9-5 in favour of Microsoft, and let's be completely honest, with 6 rounds left in it, Microsoft winning the last 5 on the bounce against pistol rounds, against full buy rounds, against half buy rounds, against insane rotation plays coming in from DinkedIn. They just seem to be putting up such a brave defense every single time that works out for them. Moose there picking up that early frag onto Windway. Gets another onto Guakbra. He won't get the second, though, I don't think. No, Alpha will pick him up.
But RMQ again.
He's such a strong player.
26 kills. He's got double Moose. Moose is on 13, which by no way about it is anything to shake a stick at. Moose is performing well. But RMQ is just on another level. He wants to put an end to this game, and he wants to put an end to it now.
Think about it like this, okay? 5 rounds left in it. 6 rounds left in it, I should say. He could 40 bomb. Realistically. He's not going to, but he could potentially 40 bomb. He gets 4 in this round, that puts him on 30. He's got 10 to get them between the next 6 rounds, or next 5 rounds. And we've seen him do wonders in the pistol round before, so I'm just going to say it's still a feasibility. There's 1. Needs another 3, and then I'll be happy. So my prediction starts to play into truth.
Again, if you're not familiar, that overlay will swap shortly. MS Office are now on the terrorist side. Don't worry, in chat, I can see you getting confused. It will swap shortly. It's a little bit of a bug. MS Office are on the attack now. Give it a second. Sometimes technology doesn't like to work very well.
Mm-hmm.
We now see them slowly making their way towards the A bomb site. Just allowing that timer in the CT's heads to come into play. Like, are they going A? Are they just going to double back to B? In this situation, it's very hard to get a read, especially when there's no sound cues coming from these terrorists. But now the engagement has been made. Yumi rushes onto bomb site, but goes down instantly to Windway and downside, holding down the A bomb site with not really much of a challenge.
Yep, RMQ holding down the W button to get onto the A side and not really putting that much of a fight.
And there we go, the overlay has swapped, it's now fixed, no need to panic, we're all Gucci.
Everyone happy, content. We're good now for the last half of this final map. Still working in favor, of course, of Microsoft Office. And I will 100% continue to stay unbiased, even though people have said that I seem to be in favor of DinkedIn. I do not, I promise. Calling the game as I see it. Oh, Alpha, okay. Can we talk about that?
He's just building up that economy.
Yeah, it's money rounds.
Now only on RMQ.
Seen him do it before.
P250 pistol ace against a full board.
Yeah, not happening.
CT side? Yeah, I don't think so. I'd love to believe, but even I'm not that daft.
A man can dream. A man can dream. Still open for predictions from chat, by the way, if anyone wants to throw their own prediction into the mix.
Don't do it.
No, don't do it.
Don't listen to Steve.
Overtime. Oof. Mehu giving us an overtime shout out. It's a yikes from me, dog, but we may see it. We've seen it in the first map. But to say if Bad Blood had anything to do with it, we probably wouldn't. But he does fall in the end, but not before taking Alpha with him.
That's bold of Shotgun Toothpaste, predicting at least one more ace for RMQ.
Well, if he does that, he gets the 40 bomb, which is what I want. So, or gets towards the 40 bomb, which would be, stellar as far as my my viewing ability is concerned.
After this round, I do want to have a quick peek at what ADR RMQ is on. 27 kills in 18 rounds. Only 2 assists, probably averaging around 150 to 170. RMQ actually managed to get on site with ease, not even being seen once by any of the players, holding off, and now it's a 2-on-3 situation. Retake for this DinkedIn side.
That is one hell of a prediction from Shadowade, by the way. I quite like that. It's actually a very good shout. Both these teams prefer CT. I think DinkedIn may have a slight advantage, and RMQ goes off again. This is the round where he can do it. He needs to get another. Fake tap. Monkey's there to finish that round off for us.
RMQ was just playing distraction at that point. He just shot through the sandbag, just like, draw the attention over here, like, come on, shoot at me, look at me. And then Monkey just swings and easy kill, and Microsoft put another on the board, 4-round advantage. Looking to make it more against this half buy coming up from the CTs.
Big round coming out for both teams, realistically. Maybe more so for DinkedIn. They want to make sure that they can try and edge a little bit closer to the double rounds.
This is actually a very big round for DinkedIn, more than MS Office, because MS Office do have that 4-round advantage. If DinkedIn lose this round, they have no money following this.
Yep, they're at equal.
Then that means they're already down to 12 after losing this round. They lose the following eco, they're down to 13.
Potentially lose the following eco.
Potentially, yes, but it's the most likely outcome into that round.
think I agree with you, but at the same time, I think we should definitely stick with potentially. The reason being is because we've seen 4 or 5 eco rounds which have gone in favor of the eco team over the last 2 maps, and in this map as well in the first half. So I don't want to. I want to rest on our laurels of knowing, pistol rounds are relatively wipeout rounds. They're push rounds in that sense. So, but at the same time, it could go either way on those rounds, but we've seen it go more in favor of the eco team than the other way around. A round reset would be good, though. I will agree on that. A reset round where they just push pistols through mid, or they push pistols through lower. Never going to argue with you against on that one.
CTs are very hesitant to rotate off this B bomb site, only waiting until the bomb has been confirmed planted at A2. Even start making the rotation. Yumi's being extremely aggressive. Presses into bank, gets 2 kills, and then goes and falls to downside, and now a 2-on-3 situation for MS Office. And DinkedIn cannot lose this round one to RMQ.
Ho ho ho. I'm at that point. That is we're there. Okay, that's a 30 bomb right there, ladies and gentlemen, already.
The double swing from behind boxes, and RMQ somehow manages to hit both of those shots.
One of them a headshot as well, by the way.
Both of them were headshots.
Were they both headshots?
They were both headshots. Neither of those players were low. Both of those players were on 100 HP, and RMQ just domed them both.
That's that round reset I was talking about earlier on. Push mid, pistols, try and get frags. So far they picked up 1, but Yumi's going to get away from that easily. Bomb is planted down on B. Alpha, save AK. Pax and Glockbro, go for it.
The only reason I see them going for it is simply to try and get one of those weapons, but I don't think the terrorists are really going to be putting up much effort in hunting these players down and trying to take away that singular weapon that they have. But hey, my prediction came true. They lost the round, they forced an eco, and they're losing the round. And now they're down 6 rounds. MS Office only need 3 rounds to take this grand final.
We talked about the economy of it, pushing to find Alpha with the AK. Yeah, you're going to spend too much doing it. There's no point. Save your AKs, bring them into the next round, and then do the damage in the following rounds.
And even now, even after that loss, now on a 3-round loss bonus, it's still not the strongest buy from these CTs. 3 players without head armor, yeah, admittedly against AKs it doesn't really matter, but still utility is not great for the counter-terrorist side. Yep,
it's really not. And what doesn't bode well then is that they're buying heavy into it, spending all their cash. Yes, they get a loss bonus of 2,900, but...
Okay, bad blood.
Anyway, so what have we got planned for after? I mean, what's going on here?
I think I'm going to need a drink because some of these players just don't make sense. Bad Blood managing to pick up 3. But Pax only seen Bad Blood. He didn't. He wasn't expecting anyone else. He was rotating away. That Molotov has actually drawn him back onto B bomb site, and now this might actually be hard for MS Office. Sorry, Steve.
Well, maybe that's fine. I was going to say what made me laugh is he does all that, he gets that massive 3K, and then he's picked off by Pax like that. Pax just swings out because he is like maybe a footstep or 2 on his way out of sight, and he gets picked up. Bomb planted, that forces Pax to push himself into an even more dangerous position to clear out the side of sight. He'll pick up Umi, and he'll pick up Boon Monkey as well.
I was going to say, if anybody could do this, it would be Pax, because he has been the hard hitter for DinkedIn. And that's exactly what he does. He gets 3 kills to clutch out the round, doesn't even need his teammate in the form of downside. All his job was to defuse that bomb.
Literally, nothing else. Like 2 HP, and to clutch that round out from Pax. Very well done indeed from him.
And even though they do lose that round, Microsoft Office even do still have the easy economy to buy fully straight back into this round. But again, it's a make or break situation for both of these teams. Either one of these lose, the money is reset, and it's not a good situation to be in.
No, not at all. Moose just took a little bit of artillery there. Have you noticed this as well? And I mean, just a subtle observation. No one, I don't think I've ever seen any of the DinkedIn players go long A. Bad blood. Okay. 2 quick picks up from Alpha, and one way Quackbra will finish that fight off in the end, but we're now 4v3. So fairly well timed Molotov. Oh, poor monkey. Wait a minute. Is Downside been able to get out through? He has. Oh, well, he was through a second ago.
Yeah, he readjusted to hold a different angle, and unfortunately that led to his death. And now, Blackburn in a 1 versus 4 situation. You don't really think that he's going to be going for this. It looks like he is slowly starting to back away. Or might actually be regressing. Maybe it's looking to try and do some economy damage.
Even he's just spamming shots into the wall there. I think he's undecided, isn't he? Because you can see him kind of moving back and forward. Do I? Don't I? Yeah, he's definitely not going to. He can't imagine him going for it. I know it's only a FAMAS,
he has no kit either way, so...
Yeah. There's a M4 there. I think there's an AK or 2 around as well. Oh, he didn't pick it up before the explosion.
He does get an M4 off one of his teammates' dead bodies. Probably still covered in blood from the slaughter that was on that B-bomb site. And now, Microsoft Office take it to 1 round of map and grand final point. And just a reminder, these are not professionals by any means.
I was going to address it. You can address it.
They are simply people who work normal day jobs, normal people things, and they like to play video games and win money for charity in the process. Steve, what do the winners take home for their chosen charities?
I'm going to throw you under the bus there. You're going to throw me under the bus instead. I like it. I like your style. We've learned so much together over the last 12 months. Yeah, so I mean, as Jakey mentioned it perfectly, you know, these guys are not professional players. They are amateur players. I mean, it feels like they're semi-professional with some of the plays that we're watching. First place is $1,600. Second place is $800 for their chosen charities. To LinkedIn is charity is UNICEF, and Jakey, remind me once again, Microsoft. Child's Play. There you go. So 2 very, very much worthwhile charities, and either way, someone's going to get cash. It's just a little bit more for one than the other.
No matter who comes out victorious, everybody's a winner. Everybody's played an entire season of CSGO to culminate in this amazing grand final and actually raise some large amounts of money for some very, very good charities that really do make a difference in the world.
Yep, definitely. We're off timeout, by the way, as well.
Yep. Oh, nope. You had to say something. You had to say, right, I'm cutting you off this cast.
I'm finished. My career is over.
Oh, I cannot believe you've just done this. I can't believe you've done this.
OT or what?
No, don't start.
14-8. I mean, at the minute, you would feel it's wrapped up, but I said that in the first map, we went to OT. You said in the second map, you feel it's wrapped up, and then we didn't go to OT, but it flipped as far as who won the map. You know, I think this one is one of those ones where neither one of us want to sit down and be like, it's Microsoft win or it's LinkedIn win. We both just want either one of the teams to go out and show us their best. And to be completely honest with you, with 23 rounds played, we've had some unbelievable rounds. So yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with the way that tonight has gone as far as the gameplay that we've witnessed in the first game and now also in the final game for this entire series.
Yeah, it's certainly culminating in a very, very positive and fun place. Obviously, this map, turning out to be a little bit more one-sided than we were first expecting. It was rather balanced in the first few rounds, and then Microsoft Office just went on a tear and have been doing so ever since.
Exactly. We will, by the way, at the very end of the game, so with the winning team, be having a small interview with one of the players from the winning side. So stick with us for that as well. Also, But we are now leading into what could ultimately be the final of the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, and it looks like we're just going to be seeing this terrorist side barrel out towards this B-bomb site, and that's the first kill picked up easily. But the CTs, they could have a big wrap on right now. They could choose to go through Monster and try and flank the Ts at their own game, and that's exactly what's going to be happened. But they were watching for it, but oh, it's just going to be a slaughter. RMQ and Bad Blood coming in to finish off the round and take us to map and series point.
32-9. 2 aces. This is just insane. He's farming kills, more or less, Jakey.
He is indeed, and it's not certainly not a figure to shake your stick at. It's not exactly like he's been quiet. He's been fragging all series, all 3 maps, and he really wanted to put on a show for this culmination of this grand final.
He did indeed.
But
that will pick up
already.
Take Alpha down. He's low HP off the frag though, so I mean it's obviously positive. It puts him in a better position, but realistically they're a man down on the push.
Well, they're more than a man down now, as we see already a 2-on-5 situation. And you've got a feel for DinkedIn. They put up a hell of a fight on Vertigo, taking that map 16. I think it was 16-8 in the end. After that huge map of the first on Inferno, going to single OT with Microsoft Office coming on a comeback. And that is GG as Microsoft Office take the win. And they are your grand finals and CEA Autumn-Fall 2020 champions, taking home $1,600 for Child's Play.
Exactly. It's just like incredible. Thoroughly enjoyed the entirety of those 3 maps. I genuinely think that you and I have been treated some like brilliant CSGO. Like perfect CSGO from this evening, so it's been really fun. I think we are going to get an interview, and I think we're going to try and get RMQ maybe.
We've actually got 2.
Yeah, we might have 2.
Okay,
yeah, we do.
We can get both of them.
Yeah,
let's pull in Moose, who I think. Let me just double check.
Make sure he's there.
Moose is the in-game leader, so. He's going to be able to tell us exactly what was going through his mind going into this game. We're not going to get their cameras on because I was only, to be honest, set up for 1 player coming in for an interview, but we can get them both in on voice and we can ask them some questions about how they managed to just insanely take that that grand final. So let's get them up in here now. Hopefully, if this works. Oh, nope, come on. Dragging people this far in Discord does not work very well. Right, there's Moose. Hello, Moose. How are you doing?
Doing just great, thanks. How about you?
I'm not doing too badly. And I think RMQ, if this would work, Discord, come on.
Just waiting for there we go.
Right, so now we have both of you in here. Well done, guys. How are you feeling after that grand final?
Oh, man. I am come down off a lot of energy. Feeling pretty good.
Let's just boost your audio just a tiny bit. RMQ.
Yeah, do you want to ask or shall I? You ask one.
Two aces in the first 3 or 4 rounds.
Yeah. I mean,
right. So first of all, we need to check your computer for any unusual .exes that are running. Oh no, I'm kidding. That was absolutely a masterclass of CS:GO that we've seen from you coming out across all 3 maps. Never mind just Overpass. Even map 1 and 2, you were, I think, in the top 2 fraggers of both games. So, just tell us how was it feeling knowing you were on fire in those maps?
Nice talking to you, Robin.
Okay, well, it felt electric, and we had the momentum, and we converted on it. That's all I can say.
Okay.
So Romans normally are very quiet or very friendly. Just kind of picks up the slack where we need a little slack picked up, And for him to come out and just absolutely, come out swinging as hard as he did is pretty awesome for us to see. You should have heard us in Discord screaming, "Oh my God, Roman!" every time.
It was
What rank? Out of interest, what rank are you, LNQ?
I don't usually play matchmaking. I'm currently LE, but I usually play Face It. Yeah.
That was an absolute masterclass coming out from you. But Moose, your IGL for the Microsoft Office team.
Yeah.
Going off the back of the comeback on Inferno, where you were 15-13 down, you picked up those 2 rounds to take it OT, and then you just ran away with OT. Then to come into Vertigo, how did you feel when it came onto that second half and you couldn't figure out how to break through the CT side of the DinkedIn side?
So we're a team where we have 2 maps we know we're not good at. And the one map is Trade, and the second map is Vertigo. And so we and Trade, they picked Vertigo. We figured it was going to be a little tough. We had Overpass, we almost chose Overpass instead of Mirage for map 1. So we were pretty confident. And so our thought was, let's conserve energy. We're going to do our best. We're not going to freak out. And if it doesn't work out, we're going to go just slam them on map 3.
Yeah, and we didn't even talk about it. There was no low morale or anything. We just knew our strengths. And
yeah, exactly.
We were talking about it this when the match first kicked off, and we were looking at the map bands sort of live for the first game, and we're like, Vertigo is one of those sort of maps where it's not really a pug map. It's one you've got to scrim on to really be able to play it well. You've got to be able to play it on scrim quite a fair bit to kind of understand the momentum of players, the rotations that players will put in, the right smokes to use for the right entries. There's a lot of different variables involved in a map like Vertigo. And it's one of those sort of ones where you either got it or you don't got it. For lack of a better way of putting it, in that sort of sense. Is that
I totally agree. No. And you mentioned the problem for us was we couldn't find a good scrim on it. Honestly, for these last few weeks, we've been scrimming ESEA and playing pugs on Face It as people were available and stuff, and we probably had one okay match on it. So we didn't quite have all the tricks we needed T-side to break through their defense. And to be fair, they were hitting some really good shots. So, we figured it was a weakness and it wasn't the biggest deal.
Well, I have to say, gents, thank you very much for a great evening of CSGO. For us, it's 5 to 2 in the morning. So I think we're going to leave you there, if that's all good with you two. I know you've got probably a lot of hours left to be able to chill out and play games together and everything. Great,
I think I'm going to go lie down, honestly.
Lie down?
I was going to expect that from RMQ because his back must be pretty heavy after that last map. But no, honestly, from myself too, it's been really entertaining Counter-Strike coming out from both teams this evening. Obviously, you taking home the grand prize of $1,600 for Child's Play. How does that feel to know that you're the cause of them getting this, well, probably not huge on their part, but huge donation from yourselves obviously on behalf of CEA?
No, we love it. This is a league for charity, and that's what we're playing for. And it's really awesome to see the money go to a cause that's really great, going to help people. Yeah. So it feels really good.
Back for next season?
We'll see.
I really hope you are.
No decisions yet.
I want some more exciting Counter-Strike coming out from another Microsoft team.
Do we really got a 3-peat? Do we really?
I mean, I wouldn't mind it.
All right, fair enough. We'll see.
From myself and from Steve and from everybody at CEA, thank you very much to you two for coming on and having a lovely interview. So go and enjoy the rest of your day and celebrate your victory of the fall 2020 season.
Thanks so much.
Thanks
See you later
for the good game.
See you guys
Thank
later.
you. Right, that is us. I think we're wrapped up for the evening.
One more thing that we do want to quickly just shout out is the Patreons that actually help to make this possible. Zizong Yang, don't know if that's right, I apologize if it wasn't. Joshua Flores, Mario Maldonado, Corey, and TPG Leo. But from myself and Steve, Steve, what do everybody at home have to do if they want to try and get involved in next season's league?
You need to go to the website, which is linked below, CEA.gg. Get yourselves signed up with your company, get involved, and who knows, next season we could be commentating on games with yourselves.
So
otherwise, though,
yep, myself and
me,
Steve.
take it easy.
The endings are always the worst part, but thank you very much so much for watching. I hope you do return for the next season, and I hope that myself and Steve can also return to bring some of these games, these exciting games, your way. Take it easy, take care, good evening.